All right, all right, all right. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're well. Please let me know that you can see me and hear me. Please let me know that you can see me and hear me. Folks coming on in, I see you. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? All right, Olivia, what's going on? Sharita, Alexander, Arlena, Ashley, Bria and Brittany, Danielle, Charles, Chris, Daniel, Dana with a Y, Alicia, M, Eugene, Fatih, Freeman, Janelle, Janine, Jeff, Johanna, or Johanna, either one, Danielle, and Daniel, Tanisha, Tara, what's good? Susie with a Z, Stacy, Sherry, I see you, Virginia in the building, Tunisia, Ushika, Walida, what's going on? What's going on? Tracy, Talia, Sherry Rael. Excuse me, I got a little cough, y'all. Sherry Rael, Rosalinda, Rupa, what's good, Rupa? Rakisha or Rakesh, what's going on, y'all? I hope you're well. Happy Tuesday. Excited to have you here tonight, the beginning of this month of October. It is beautiful. We are in the last quarter of the year, and I'm really excited. I'm glad to have you here. I have a lot to cover in a short amount of time, so I want to jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen right now, and I want you to type in chat. Let me know in chat, what market are you looking to buy multifamily real estate in? Please let me know in chat. I see somebody already repping Chicago and Ohio. Now, when I say market, I don't mean state, okay? I mean a county or a city. County or a city, okay? Don't give me a state, give me a county or a city, okay? New Orleans, Marva out here in New Orleans, I'm here. Los Angeles, Baltimore, Bowie, Newark, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Columbus, Southwest Atlanta. Reggie specific with it. Reggie said Southwest Atlanta. All right. Baltimore again, Alameda. Okay, I'm from Oakland. All right, Queens in the building. I lived in Brooklyn for 10 years and I own property there. I own property in Oakland as well and in New Orleans. Silver Spring, Maryland. All right, I'm familiar with Silver Spring. PG County, right? Maricopa and Pinal County in Arizona. Essex County, Las Vegas, New Orleans. What's going on, Kim? We out here getting ready for who? What is it? Stacy, Susie? One kind of mild hurricane. Cleveland, New York, Lancaster, Mecklenburg County, North Carolina. I got family in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, Stephanie. So I don't know how close Mecklenburg County is. But cool, we got people from all over tonight. That's really good. So good. So before we get started, I created this tool for you to help you stay on track tonight. Make sure that you don't miss out on any of the most vital information and that you capture the key points. So I'm posting this in chat. Go ahead and click on this link real quick. Click on this link real quick and see if it works. There are literally hundreds of you here tonight. So if you get a busy signal, just like a phone, everybody calling in at the same time, same thing happens with servers. Just go ahead and try back in 5 minutes. I'm going to put a backup link there for you as well. All right. Put in a backup link there for you as well. Okay. So that's a backup link for a worksheet. Okay. That'll just make sure that if you have a printer, go ahead and print that out. And if not, if you don't have a printer or you can't even get access to it because too many people are going to the server at the same time, then go ahead and just go get a pen and paper and take notes. Okay. Go ahead and get a pen and paper and take notes. All right. Charles says it's working. Lanika says she keeps getting kicked out. Lanisha, I mean, you may want to try joining us on your phone or something like that if you keep getting kicked out. Galaxy said it's not loading. Try the backup link. Try the backup link. Sherry's printing it, so it's working. And again, if you're getting a busy signal, y'all, just try back in 5 minutes. That means there's too many people going to it all at the same time. There's a lot of you here tonight, okay? So, cool. All right, good. So let's keep it pushing. So I want to jump right into it and get into the meat and potatoes, as they say it. And I want to get into the multifamily master plan. on how to finance, find, and finalize your first multifamily real estate deal and start living for free. My name is Julian Gordon. I'm creator of the multifamily movement, and I'm so excited to have you here tonight. Tonight, I have a little bit of a special edition for you. It's actually the coronavirus edition. The coronavirus edition. As you know, coronavirus has had a huge impact on the global economy, and I'm going to share with you how it's had a counterintuitive impact on real estate and how it actually may be helping you acquire multifamily real estate between now and the end of the year. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Julian Gordon, and I want to share with you a little bit about my why or my purpose. My purpose is to free 300 people like Harriet Tubman through multifamily real estate and entrepreneurship so that they can pursue their purpose. Okay, that is my work. As you know, Harriet Tubman was the #1 conductor on the Underground Railroad, and over the course of about a decade, she freed 300 people by making 19 trips below the Mason-Dixon line. Well, I believe that multifamily real estate is the above ground railroad. That's what I call it, the above ground railroad, because real estate sits above ground and has been there right in plain sight for us to access, but we couldn't see it as a pathway to freedom, right? Now, think about this. Think about this, y'all. Where did Harriet Tubman take folks in the middle of the night? Where did Harriet Tubman take folks in the middle of the night? Where did Harriet Tubman take folks in the middle of the night, y'all? Yeah, she took them north, but where did they stay? In the middle of the night. They stayed in what they were called safe houses. Safe houses. And guess what? Multifamily real estate is the new safe house, right? It is a new safe house. Do you realize that real estate has been part of your freedom journey all along? It has always been part of your freedom journey. And so this today, in today's modern day slavery that we're living in, and I'm going to explain that in just a second, multifamily real estate is the new safe house, okay? So my professional background in terms of real estate is I built a $4.1 million real estate portfolio with 10 multifamily homes and 30 apartments, which also means units or doors. When somebody says I have 30 doors, it means that they have 30 apartments. Okay, that's real estate lingo. They command $36,000 per month in rents, and I built that portfolio in just 6 years on the side. Real estate was not my core business. I used to travel all around the country speaking at colleges and companies, but my real estate business kept growing and expanding. People kept asking me, how was I doing it? And here I am, and now this is what I do full time, okay? My real estate portfolio returns 13.83% annually. The S&P 500, which is a major stock market index, over the past 20 years has only returned on average 4.23%, okay? On average 4.23%. So the asset class that I'm teaching you tonight actually has a 3 times return, okay, than the S&P 500, than your stocks. How many of you got hit with your stock portfolio over the past 6 months? How many of you had your stock portfolio get hit? Okay. And when you think about stocks are something that you actually don't have much control over. Some of you don't even know who's actually managing your money and who's making decisions around it. So stocks is a really Russian roulette. It's really roulette when you're playing it, okay? Actually, even in roulette, you know your statistics. You know your probability of winning. With the stocks, you actually have no clue what the CEO or what that company is going to plan to do today. Now, for those of you who are wondering if that is accurate, here you go. I've actually run the numbers on the S&P 500 since the year 2000, and you can see that the average rate of return on the S&P 500 was actually 4.23%. Were there years where it went up 19%? Yeah. Were there years where it went up 26%? Yeah. But this is the average of growth rate over the past 20 years. So I'm trying to show you an asset class that has 3 times the growth rate of stocks, okay? Now, here's my actual real estate portfolio. I'm gonna be very transparent with you tonight. I'm not just gonna say I have 10 multifamily homes. If I could take you to them, I would, okay? They're actually in 3 cities, in Brooklyn, in New Orleans, and Oakland. I've got my first multifamily home in Brooklyn in 2013, May of 2013. It was a 3-family home right here that got me to rent and mortgage freedom. It got me to rent and mortgage freedom. So today, again, I have 30 doors or 30 apartments, okay, with 13.83% cash on cash return, 19.5% appreciation, $36,000 per month in rents, and a $4.1 million in value, all right? And so this is the portfolio that I've actually been able to build. These are the homes that I control today. Now, a lot of people think that this is not possible in their market. This individual on Instagram, she said, bet it was not in the Bay Area. I can buy 10 properties in some cheap market for the price of one small single family home in Palo Alto, shaking my head. And of course, this third property is in Oakland, California, where I'm originally from. So there will always be skeptics and there will always be cynics who say that it's not possible and it can't be done only because they haven't done it. But that does not mean that it's universally true that it cannot be done. And so I want to show you exactly how to make this happen wherever it is that you are in your life in terms of your physical location. Now, I haven't just been able to do this for myself. I've been able to do this for other people as well. This is the Roll family. They have a fourplex in Los Angeles near USC. The Campbell family has a duplex that got them to rent and mortgage freedom in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jackie All Cooper, she has 4 doors in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She bought a 3-family and a single family from a distressed seller. Then there's Amina. She has a 3-family in Brooklyn, New York, but I helped her find another 4-plex here in New Orleans because it was going to be difficult for her to invest in another property in New York. Dante, he has a duplex in New Orleans where he's originally from, though he moved to California. And then Spencer has a duplex in Cleveland, Ohio, though he lives in Texas. Cleveland, Ohio is his hometown. So I haven't been able to just do this for myself. I've been able to do it for other people, and I want to show you exactly how to do it for yourself as well. So tonight I'm going to show you the multifamily math, how to quickly and quantitatively evaluate a real estate deal in 10 minutes or less so that you can make an offer before anyone else. The multifamily map, how to find great emerging markets, neighborhoods, and properties near you or from a distance that will provide great cash flow and potential appreciation. And the multifamily mindset, how to think like a real estate investor when it comes to wealth, money, real estate, and debt. You see, a lot of the tactical things about real estate, you can find them online, YouTube, podcasts, blog posts, etc. But what I found is that real estate is actually a mental game, okay? A lot of people know the lingo, they think they can do it, but in terms of real estate, the only way you can do it is actually by doing it, all right? There's no cookbook. Like if you can't teach somebody to cook through a cookbook, right? They actually have to go in there, they have to buy some food, put it on the stove and do what they do, and they're gonna burn some things along the way. And my hope tonight is to make sure that as you get in the game of real estate, that you don't burn yourself and you don't burn your resources by being able to do it in the right way. Does that make sense, y'all? Type clear if that makes sense. This is not a game that you can learn by reading a book, all right? If that was the case, then a lot of you, how many of you have read Rich Dad Poor Dad? How many of you have read Rich Dad Poor Dad? Okay, 40 million people have bought Rich Dad Poor Dad. Probably 10 million people have read it, but there aren't 10 million real estate investors in the country. So information alone is not enough to get you there, okay? You have to, at some point, get in the game, okay? So my big promise is to give you a proven path to rent and mortgage freedom, and you're gonna hear me say that over and over tonight. Now, what is rent and mortgage freedom? Rent and mortgage freedom is the result of buying multifamily real estate which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. Remember, when I bought that property in Brooklyn, that 3-family, the rents from the 3rd floor and the 2nd floor covered my principal, interest, taxes, insurance, repair reserve, and vacancy rate, and CapEx, okay? All of those things were covered by the rent, and it left me with cash flow on top of that. And so guess what? Since 2013, I have not paid a housing expense. On all these properties that you see here, I personally have never made a mortgage payment. The mortgage payment comes from the rents that I collect and then I pass on to the bank. So the mortgage payments come through me, but they don't come from me or me trading time for money in order to make those mortgage payments. So I have not made a housing payment in the past 7 years. Now, just in chat, let me know what would change for you if you didn't have a housing expense for the rest of your life. What would change for you if you didn't have a housing expense for the rest of your life? Freedom, Charles says freedom, less stress, everything, more time, travel, better quality of life, a lot more time, freedom, peace of mind, travel, pay off debt, pay off student loans. None of y'all want to spend time with your families? Y'all been quarantined with your families, realize you don't even love your family no more. You don't love your family no more. Excuse me. Let me fix this real quick. I don't know what happened here. Uh-oh, went dark. 1 second, y'all. Don't know what happened to the light. There we go. There we go. Cool, here we go. I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, the light went out for a second. So here's the thing. Housing typically takes about 1/3 of the money that people bring into their household. Housing, okay? So when you buy multifamily real estate the right way, and the way that I'm gonna teach you here tonight, one single decision to buy multifamily real estate in the right way will actually get you to rent and mortgage freedom. Now, rent and mortgage freedom is not full freedom. Full freedom is when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. But to not have a housing expense for the rest of your life means that you are 1/3 of the way there to getting to full freedom. All right. So this is a huge step, and I haven't found one single decision beyond this, except for perhaps who you marry and what you decide to do for a career, that will have a greater impact on your likelihood of getting to freedom than you acquiring a piece of multifamily real estate. All right. So that is the focus of tonight. Now, before we go further, we need to address coronavirus, because I know there's a lot of people who have questions about it. Okay, we as Black people, we always put a nickname on everything. What about that Rona though? Okay, we don't even call it Corona no more. It's what about that Rona though? Okay, so let's talk about that Rona and what it's actually doing. Let's look at this real quick. Now, and when you think about it, there's gonna be a lot of Rona babies coming out to a city near you in November, December, and January. People been shacking up, ain't got nothing better to do. You're going to find babies named Covita, Quarantina, Virila. It's about to be crazy out here. When were you born? Just look at my name. You will know when I was born. It's about to get crazy out here. And so watch, mark my words, okay? Remember this recording. Mark my words. You're going to see a rise in the next, some funny quarantine-like names, all right? So let me explain what is gonna happen as a result of coronavirus. So what happened in the last recession with real estate? In 2008, 2009, you see this dip? This dip was the last recession. And when this dip happened, there were people who bought at the end of this dip. This is single family homes, okay? So the average single family home at this time was $208,000. If you would have bought a single family home in the end of the dip, okay, when everybody else was scared, guess what? That same single family home was worth $324,000 today. So you'd literally be up 116 racks right now. Your net worth would literally be up $116,000 right now if you would have bought when everyone else was scared, okay, just 10 years later. Now, when you also think about it, what happens to rent in the midst of recession? This blue line represents rents, okay? And these gray bars represent the recessions. What do you notice happens to rents in the midst of a recession, y'all? What do you notice happens to rents in the midst of a recession? Rents go up. Wait a second. Why would rents go up, Julian? Everything else is decreasing. Unemployment rate is increasing. People's wages are decreasing, etc. People are losing their jobs. What's going on? Well, here's what happens. In every market, there are permanent renters who are looking to buy, and then there's single family buyers. And these single family buyers, a lot of them following the American dream, trying to keep up with the Joneses, they bought a 5-bedroom home for a 3-piece or 4-piece family, okay? And the parents share a room. So they really only needed 3 bedrooms, but they went and got 5 bedrooms because grandma's gonna come over on Thanksgiving or Christmas, okay? They bought all this extra home so that they can host people, right? That only come over occasionally. And so now when one of them loses their job, now they can't afford that mortgage anymore, and they either have to sell that home at discount or they get foreclosed on. So when they get foreclosed on, what do they become? They become renters, okay? So now all these people become renters, and the number of people demanding rental units goes up, but the number of rental units has not increased. The number of people who need rental units go up, but the number of rental units hasn't increased. When demand goes up, but supply has not changed, what happens to price, y'all? When demand goes up, but supply has not changed, what happens to price? Price goes up. It's basic economics. So it seems counterintuitive that rents would go up in the midst of a recession, but when you look at it from an economic standpoint, this is what happens. So this is why multifamily real estate is one of the most recession-proof assets that you can ever have in your portfolio. So why this, why now? Because if you wait to get started in multifamily real estate, what's gonna happen is your rents will continue to rise, and they'll rise too high for you to save because your wages aren't rising, okay? And then the prices of real estate will start to rise again too high for you to ever to buy. So if you don't take advantage of this window where the prices of real estate are gonna drop temporarily, then you may be in a position where you never ever own a piece of multifamily real estate. And I don't say that tongue in cheek. I think that's what they say. I'm saying that factually. You already know that there's a gap between the rich and the poor. And right now, that gap, you're able to cross that gap when you make a few of the right decisions in terms of your education, in terms of your career, in terms of some of your money choices, etc. That gap is, you're able to cross that gap when you do a sequence of things right. But that gap is getting wider and wider and wider. I don't know if you know, but the coronavirus has made that gap even wider and wider and wider. And it's going to get so wide to a point where even if you were born in poverty, okay, on this side of the equation, middle class or even lower middle class, it is going to be almost impossible for you to jump to the other side, no matter what you do, unless you win the lotto or get a financial windfall from a parent's life insurance policy. Okay, so this is why I'm teaching this on a Tuesday night, to make this as clear to you as day, so that you can actually move aggressively to take advantage of the opportunity that you're going to be able to, that you're going to have here in the coming months. All right. Now, when you look at multifamily real estate, it is the proven business model of all time. It is the #1 subscription business model. It's better than Amazon Prime. It's better than Netflix. Okay, and let me explain why. This business model comes from the feudal system, which was in Europe in 900 AD. And that's 1100 years ago. And in the feudal system, kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. Kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. So where do you think the word landlords came from? It comes from the feudal system, kings giving land to lords. So this business model that I'm teaching you is 1100 years old. I cannot guarantee you that Amazon will be around 1100 years from now. I cannot guarantee you that Google will be around 1100 years from now. But as long as there are human beings on the face of this earth, then guess what? Multifamily real estate will still be here 1100 years from now, and it'll be more valuable than ever if the population continues to increase. Okay, so this is why I'm so keen on teaching you about multifamily real estate, so that you can get in the game and acquire a piece for yourself. Now, there are a lot of people who say that, Julian, I can't afford it, right? That's what they think. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but I just want to get that off the table right now. Here is my actual W-2 from 2012. When did I purchase that home in Brooklyn in 2013, y'all? What year did I purchase that home in Brooklyn in 2013? Let's see who was listening. Let's see who was listening. 2013. So this was the W-2 that they used to qualify me for that property. You can see that in 2012, I only made $36,000 in my business. I only made $36,000 in my business, yet I got qualified for a $937,000 home in Brooklyn. How? How, Sway? I'm going to show you how on this webinar, okay? So I got started in real estate when I wasn't making a lot of money in New York City, the most expensive market in the world, while I was an entrepreneur within 3 years of an economic recession. Okay, so that idea of you can't afford real estate, I'm going to show you that that is not true whatsoever. I'm a living example of it. Now, was I probably on the lower end? Was I on the brink of not getting financed? Probably so. Can you buy a $937,000 property in Brooklyn right now with $36,000? Probably not. Why? Because this was 7 years ago. The price of a home in Brooklyn right now, a 3-family home, is like $1.2 million. So $36,000 is not going to get you there, okay? But you do not need as much money as you think you need in order to acquire multifamily real estate. In fact, let me just share this real quick. How many you got pre-approved? Type pre-approved or type no. If you've been pre-approved, type pre-approved. If you haven't, type no. Okay? Most of y'all have not been pre-approved. So literally, you have taken yourself out of the game. You've taken yourself out of the game. There are other people who are out here playing around in this game called real estate. And because you thought that you couldn't afford it, you've taken yourself out of the game and you're just sitting on the sidelines watching, even though you're qualified to play. Okay? This wasn't the white man. This wasn't anybody else stopping you from actually getting in the game. It cost you nothing to get pre-approved. It costs you absolutely nothing to go to the bank and get pre-approved to see how much they will allow you to lend. All you do is take some documents like your pay stub, your W-2, your tax returns, and they will give you a number back. And so you will see how much they are willing to loan you in order for you to buy real estate. So if you have not been pre-approved, your homework is to go get pre-approved by Friday. Your homework is to go get pre-approved by Friday, okay? Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay, so that's everybody's homework who has not been pre-approved. And if you got pre-approved a while ago, then your homework is to go update that pre-approval letter based on where you are in terms of your cash flow, and your credit. Your cash is how much you have saved. Your cash flow is what your job pays you or your business pays you, and your credit, okay? Don't rule yourself out of the game because you think you can't afford it. Go see what the bank will lend you, all right? So I see some questions coming up in chat. I have so much to teach you in this short amount of time. if I try to jump off and answer questions in the midst of the presentation, I will not be able to get through everything, okay? So what I'm gonna do is it okay if I hold space for Q&A at the end? Is it okay if I hold space for Q&A at the end? So whatever questions you have, write it down on your worksheet, take a note, and I promise you that I will do my best to answer it at the end. Is that cool? All right, so let me get through the presentation. In fact, the presentation is probably gonna answer a lot of your questions. So if you just sit tight and you just listen to the presentation, a lot of your questions will be answered along the way, all right? Now, when we're talking about multifamily real estate, what are we really talking about? We are talking about 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family homes. 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family homes. What does that mean? That means duplexes, triplexes, or fourplexes. We're not talking about anything that is 5 units or more. Once you get to 5 units or more, that is considered a commercial property, okay? Now, there are only 2.6 million 2 to 4 family homes in the United States. They only make up 18% of the rental supply. We're not talking about 60-unit big apartment complexes and buildings, not yet, okay? Now, why is this specific asset so key is because the financing process for a 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family home is the same process that you would use to go through financing a single-family home. The same exact documents, the same exact lender, the same exact process, okay? This is why it's so powerful. But you wanna know something? I wanna show you something, okay? What's so powerful, let me stop sharing my screen. What's so powerful about multifamily real estate is this, y'all. Did you know that if I am buying a fourplex, okay, and the rents on this building are $4,000, and my salary is only $40K, the bank will take this $4,000 that I'm about to buy and start, eventually this is gonna be mine, right? As soon as I acquire it, the bank will take 75% of this, which is $3,000, multiply that by 12 months in the year, which is $36,000. And guess what, y'all? They will add that $36,000 to my salary, and they will qualify me for the multifamily home based on $76,000, not $40,000. So I will literally get twice as much real estate buying a multifamily than trying to buy a single family on my own. Does that make sense, y'all? They will take 75% of the rents on that building, okay, and add that on, because the moment I acquire the keys, I'm actually going to control this property. I'm going to control this property, and this is going to be mine. So they're giving me credit for a portion of that, right? So this is the power of multifamily real estate, y'all, that I can get twice as much real estate. I'm getting qualified based on $76,000 instead of $40,000, right? So this is the power. This is where the leverage is. This is why we don't buy single family homes first, all right? Let me go back to sharing my screen, all right? So if you buy a 3-family or a 4-family home in the right way that I teach you tonight, then you can get to rent and mortgage freedom with your first purchase. It is very hard to get to rent and mortgage freedom with just a duplex, because usually the rents from one side don't cover the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate, okay? But with 3 units or 4 units, you can usually get to rent and mortgage freedom with a multifamily home, okay? So this is what we're going to cover tonight. And for those of you who are single family buyers, we're going to talk about that in a second. So tonight is for you if you're a renter or single family home buyer who wants to be receiving rents monthly instead of paying rent or mortgage to someone else. It's for you if you are committed to creating generational wealth for yourself and your family by having your money work for you instead of you always working for it. And tonight is for you if you're willing to make the short-term sacrifices necessary to guarantee long-term financial gains and freedom. All right. Now, real quick, before I go further, I want to ask for your permission. If I give you some great content, and I think I've already done so based on what I've been seeing in chat, if I give you some great content during our time together, can I take 10 minutes at the end to share an opportunity for you to consider for those of you who are serious and want to accelerate your process and make sure you don't make mistakes? If I have the green light for that, please type yes in chat. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate that, and I'll let you know when I get there. And for those of you who are not interested, that's all good. I'm gonna give you enough meat and potatoes, like I said, to chew on and go act on as a result of this webinar. So it's all good. This webinar is absolutely free, okay? So for those of you who do stay to the end, I'm going to give you a list of down payment assistance programs organized by state. So whatever state you're in, there's probably a down payment assistance program. Some of these are like $5,000 grants. Some of these, if you join this program and if you join the program and you take a landlord class, then they will roll your closing costs into the mortgage, which keeps more money in your pocket. So I'm gonna send this out to you for those of you who stay to the end as my way of saying thank you for being here tonight. You could be Netflixing and chilling here right now, or watching the NBA finals, but you are here learning about how to create generational wealth for you and your last name. So I want to celebrate you for that by giving you access to those. Okay. So if you did not get the worksheet earlier, I'm going to post it one more time. Okay. Those of you came late, quite a few people came in late. So I'm posting the worksheet again. So go ahead and click that. Again, if it doesn't work, just take notes. It's all good. Just listen carefully and take notes. Now, how many of you have been on some boring webinars before? How many of you have been on some boring webinars before? I see a lot of hands being raised. All right. So tonight's going to be fun. I hope you like my humor. I'm corny, by the way. So the thing about corny jokes is that whether they're good or they're bad, you still laugh, right? If it's a bad joke, you still laugh. If it's a good joke, you laugh. And that's all that matters to me. I want you to have fun. So with this little edutainment, okay? But I'm going to kick this off with a poem. I understand multifamily real estate in so much depth that I'm able to put all of the language and deep understandings of wealth consciousness into a poem for you, okay? When I think about homeschooling, right? Oh, how do we teach our kids? We teach them through song and rhyme. And so I'm trying to elevate you from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness. And so I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that I can do that. And so I'm gonna kick this off with the multifamily poem, all right? Why don't we hack houses like frat houses where everyone living good for just a few thousand? Some will say it's lousy while they slaving proudly, spending 1/3 of their revenue to pay for housing. Living on your own, but you don't own ish. Can't even get a loan, student debt is thinking a high wage is the way to get rich. Not if your living expenses rise directly with it. Trying to keep up with the Joneses deep in debt till you croak. I'm gonna live just like the Jeffersons, pretend that I'm broke. Then I'll buy a multifamily, let the rents pay the note. Perhaps you could be my tenant, yo, that would be dope. I keep my cost of living low along with my blood pressure. Because if you always stressing, it's hard to enjoy pleasure. The man with the most is not the one who wins the race. It's the man with his soul who could look at his own face. 40 acres and a mule is what they taught us in school. I'd rather have 40 apartments and a big money pool. Leverage credit to capital and capital to cash flow. Cash is not king because the interest too low. Some call me a do-gooder. I got good deeds in my name. As the lord of my land, I'll never be a slave. You can dabble in stocks, lose your shirt and your socks, but the demand for housing will never ever stop. Assets, assets, assets. Passive, passive, passive. These are the two keys to amass wealth quick. But quick is really relative. It's a long-term game. Who you hustling for, your first or your last name? Boom. What is it, y'all? So check this out. Every line in this poem has power in it, okay? Every line in this poem has wealth consciousness baked into it. And right now, where you are in your understanding of money, not just even real estate, you may not understand every single line that is here. For instance, cash is not king, right? You've been taught that cash is king for this whole time, and this is why many people are paper chasing. But the reality, did you know that cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world? I'm gonna repeat that. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. Your cash at 0.03% in your savings account, if you take the rule of 72, 72 divided by 0.03, it'll take you 2,400 years to double your money in a bank account. 2,400 years. What I'm trying to show you is an asset class that will grow your money at 12%, not 0.03%. 72 divided by 12 means that your money is doubling at least every 6 years, okay? So we've been trained wrong about how wealth is created. And so I know that one of the first assets that you need in your last name is multifamily property. Yes, Noel said it. The bank is a lie. You realize the bank is robbing you, you aren't robbing them. You are selling them your money at 0.03%, and then they loan it back to you at 4 or 5%. You got robbed. You think the bank is keeping your money safe? No, they are stealing your money simply because you don't know how to grow it at a greater rate than 0.03%. You don't know what else to do with it, so you just go give it to the bank for basically free, right? So you have to shift your wealth consciousness so that you understand, I don't keep a lot of cash. All my money is out in the world, it's in play. It is invested into assets that are growing and yielding way more than 0.03%. And so this is how we play the game. You cannot save your way to wealth, and you usually can't work your way to wealth. You have to get in a position where your money is working for you. That is the name of the game. All right. So let's keep it pushing. That's a whole nother lecture. Okay. So let's get it in. Myth number one is that I can't afford it. Now, when you use the word I can't, you literally turn off your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind processes information at 40 million bits per second. Your conscious mind processes information at 40 bits per second. Okay. So your subconscious mind is 1 million times more powerful than your conscious mind. All right. When the conscious mind, which has executive power, says I can't, it turns off the subconscious mind. It literally hits the switch. And now your subconscious mind is no longer working for you. Now, when you go to sleep at night, what keeps you breathing? It's not your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is sleep. Your subconscious mind keeps you breathing. What keeps your heart beating? It is your subconscious mind. What tells you it's time to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night while your conscious mind is asleep? That is your subconscious mind working for you 24/7. But when you use the word I can't, you literally turn off your real horsepower. So we want to remove that word from our vocabulary and instead say, how can I afford it? When we say, how can I afford it? We're now posing a question to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind will tirelessly seek an answer 24/7 until it finds one. So it really changes the way your mind works when you pose a question as opposed to come with a definitive statement that I can't do something, all right? So the first thing we need to address is the monthly payment. And a lot of people are like, oh, Julian, I don't know if I'll make the monthly payment. Well, the reality is you're paying somebody's mortgage right now. If you're renting, you're paying somebody's mortgage right now. Okay, so you can make that payment. The average rent on a 2-bedroom home in the United States is $1,225. Okay, the average mortgage on a single family home in the United States is $1,199. So it's literally cheaper to own a single family home than it is to be renting. Of course, we're not here to talk about single family homes tonight, but I just wanted to make this clear that if you are renting, you can make a mortgage payment on time. All right, now, this person wrote me. She said, Julian, I love your online seminar. I really wish I could join, but being a single working mom right now is what's preventing me from pursuing my dream. At this time, I pay $1,200 a month for 9 years, which is insane for rent to a slumlord who never fixes anything. And if he does, it is used. Okay. So hear this, y'all. This person has spent $1,200 a month for 9 years with a slumlord who doesn't care about her, her family, or her community, or our community. Okay. You want to know how much money that is? She's literally given this slumlord $129,000. She's given somebody who basically hates her, right? Maybe not have said it directly, but just the way they treat her, $129,000. Just here, oppressor, here's $129,000. Now, how long does a lease last? A lease lasts 1 year. So if she really wanted out, she could have got out. She could have went on apartments.com and found a different apartment if she wasn't happy here. But you can tell that this person is in victim consciousness because she's using the fact that she's a single working mom as her crutch for why she isn't where she wants to be in her life. And I'm not blaming her and I'm not shaming her because we all do it. We take whatever area of weakness that we have, wherever we feel vulnerable. Oh, Julian, I didn't graduate from high school, or I didn't finish college, or I have a learning disorder, or I was abused at this age, okay? We take whatever our point of weakness is and we start using that as a crutch. We become a victim. Now, here's the question. Are there single working moms who own multifamily real estate out there, y'all? Are there single working moms who own multifamily real estate? So even if there's just one single working mom out there who owns multifamily real estate, then this person's excuse is false. If there's one person out there with ADHD and you have ADHD, right? Guess what? Then your excuse for why you don't is false. If there's one person out there who hasn't graduated from high school, who has a prison record or dealt with bankruptcy, who has multifamily real estate, then your excuse is null and void. So whatever excuse you've been leaning on as your crutch, I'm encouraging you to release it because it's not helping you, okay? It's not helping you get to your true ultimate goal, right? Which is to overcome, all right? So watch this. In chat, let me know how much you pay in rent or a mortgage. Type $1,000 rent or $1,000 mortgage. Let me know in chat. $1,000 rent or $1,000 mortgage. $1,400 rent, $1,200 rent, $1,500 rent, $750 rent, $1,900 rent, $1,800 rent, $1,500 rent, $1,022 rent, $863, $775, $889, $1,700, $1,200, $1,895 mortgage, $1,800 mortgage, $1,800 mortgage, $1,550 mortgage, $1,300 mortgage, $650, $900, $1,395. Okay, $2,500 mortgage. Stop, y'all. Stop. Just stop. This is making me sad. So watch this. If I run a quick calculation of everybody that is on here, and I just take that the average rent or mortgage here is $1,500. Or no, I'll just do $1,200. Literally everybody on this webinar collectively, we give up, let me do this real quick. 1, 2. Everybody on this webinar, we collectively give up $360,000 a month to other people. We collectively give up $360,000 to other people. That's just us on this webinar tonight. How are we gonna get free when we're giving up $1/3 $1 million every single month to other people? That's $4 million a year on this webinar that we're giving up. Okay, we need to change that equation. So watch this, y'all. If we can instead, let's say rent or mortgage expense is just $1,000, okay? If you could keep that $1,000 instead of giving it to someone else, if you could keep it and invest it at 5% a year for the next 40 years, if you could keep that $1,000 and invest it at 5%, which is very conservative, over the next 40 years, how much money do you think you would have? If you could keep that $1,000 and invest it every single month at 5% for the next 40 years, how much money would you have? You would all be millionaires. You would all be millionaires. You would have $1.5 million. So what I'm showing you tonight is a proven pathway to you becoming a millionaire. Now, I want to be very clear that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is get-rich guaranteed over time. This is get-rich guaranteed over time. If we can simply get your rent expense or your mortgage expense off the books, instead of that money going to somewhere else, you were able to invest it in yourself and other assets, then I can guarantee that all of you will become millionaires over your time. Now, some of you are like, oh, Julian, I'm 6 years old. I don't have 40 years left. Well, I need all the 60-year-olds and 50-year-olds. I need you to stop being selfish. It's not just about you. How about you use the life that you have left to get the ball down the court about 20 more years so that when the next generation gets it, they aren't starting at 0-2. How about they start at year 20? And so that the next generation after them can start with the head start. So if you don't think you have 40 years and you can't think that long term because you think you're going to die in the next 20 years, then I need you to start thinking about the next generation and how you can set them up for success so that they can have it better than you did. You got children, you got grandchildren, you got nieces and nephews. How about we get the baton as far as we can down the road for them? What if you dedicated your life to that? What if that was your purpose on the tail end of your life? Okay. The hardest part of generational wealth is being the first generation to create it. Everybody likes to talk about generational wealth and et cetera. The hardest part is being the first generation to create it. And either you're going to do it or your family is going to continue to suffer. Either you're going to do it or your family is going to continue to suffer for generations to come. All right? So let's keep it pushing. Now, I have a spirit of tough love. Know that love is the noun and tough is the adjective. I hope you can tell that I'm coming from a place of love. I don't have to be here tonight. I choose to be here because I want to get this information to as many people as possible. Harriet Tubman, she kept a pistol. The pistol was not for slave catchers. You know who the pistol was for? It was for those who were getting free with her and were considering going back. She kept a pistol for those who were with her, were getting scared, and wanted to go back. All right? So right now, guess what? You are all in my caravan. You are here now. And I'm going to give you a little bit of tough love. All right? Because I know that soft stuff doesn't work. So for those of you who are renters, I need to come at y'all for a second. If you are a renter, you are homeless. If you are a renter, you are homeless. See, I know you've been calling it my apartment and my home, but the reality is it's not your apartment and it's not your home. You aren't on the title and you aren't on the deed. Now, I know you want to have a dinner party after this quarantine is over and you want to invite people over and you want to type on the invitation, come over to my apartment and come over to my house. Stop lying to your friends and your family. You ain't got to lie to kick it. Say, come over to Sally's house. Come over to Tommy's house because that's where I've been renting from for 5 years. Let's just keep it real, y'all. It's not yours. But subconsciously, you've been telling yourself that it's your apartment or it's your house, and therefore you felt like you're safe. I need you to let your subconscious know that actually we don't have a home. We are homeless. To actually kick you into gear to go get up, get out, and get something. When you moved in, you knew that you were supposed to be there temporarily to position yourself for ownership, but somehow you slipped into renter's consciousness. When you moved in, you should have kept all your stuff packed up in U-Haul boxes. Why would you go unpack and get comfortable in a place that you only planned on being temporarily? When I go on vacation and I know I'm only going to be somewhere for 4 days to a week, I don't unpack. I live out of my suitcase. Why would I put all my stuff in the drawers and hang it all up in the closet and make it feel like I'm home? I'm not home. I know I'm leaving soon. You should have been eating off of paper plates so that every time you open that door, you're reminded that, oh, this is not my space. I'm using it for a short time, but this is not my space. Some of y'all buying furniture to fit in specific nooks, right? You putting up art, you painting, you mowing the lawn, you sweeping the hallway like it's yours. It is not yours. So it's time for you to do something different. How is it that this person who's actually homeless, who's probably been through some physical trauma, some mental trauma, some drug addiction, has no ID, has no bank account, has no money, has no roof over their head, how is it that they own as many homes as you do? Zero. Here you are with the internet, a computer, or a smartphone that's worth $1,000. You got a good education, you got a good job, you got a good head on your shoulders, and the homeless person who's actually sleeping on the bus bench owns as many properties as you after you've been working 5 to 25 years? How is that so? There are literally babies that were born in the past half an hour who have a higher net worth than some of you who are here. Zero. Something is broken in the way that you are moving through the world financially. And it's time for you to do something different and make a change. Okay? So I need you to accept for the fact that you are homeless, but only temporarily. Because the ultimate goal of this webinar is to put you in position for you to get a home, but not just get a home, but actually to get a home that is paying you so that you are literally living for free. All right? So, y'all with me? So, for the single family buyers here on this webinar, it ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe. Okay? If you're a single family buyer, I need you to know that the word mortgage, has the same prefix as the word mortician. You want to know why? Because the word mortgage literally means death pledge. The word mortgage literally means death pledge. Now, I know your real estate agent didn't tell you that. I know that HGTV didn't tell you that. But many of you signed up for a 30-year death pledge and were happy to post pictures on Instagram and look at me, I signed my 30-year death pledge. And how do I know it's a death pledge? Because some of you are in jobs that you hate and you're afraid to leave because you're afraid of missing one single mortgage payment. You are afraid to leave the job you hate for the next 30 years because you're afraid of missing one single mortgage payment. So you signed up for a death pledge. And my hope is to get you out of that death pledge and get you back to life. Now, let me just break this down for you because HGTV will have you fooled. HGTV tells you that when you get the keys, congratulations, you're a home owner. No, you're not. You are not a home owner. When you get the keys, you are a home buyer. Stop calling yourself a homeowner. You are a home buyer. When you got the keys, you only own 3.5% of your home. The bank owned the rest of your home. Let's just keep it real. I want to be very clear about the language that we use. Right? Stop me when I'm lying. Somebody stop me when I'm lying. If I'm lying, stop me, correct me. All right? So let me show you the transaction for those of you who bought single family homes. If you're a single family buyer, the truth is that the bank buys your home and then it rents it to you for 30 years. Watch this. You thought you weren't paying rent anymore. Look at me, I'm a homeowner. I ain't paying rent no more. You're not paying rent to a landlord. You're paying rent to the bank for what? Their money. You're paying rent to the bank to use their money. It's called interest. That is rent. You are using somebody else's stuff temporarily, okay? Now, the interest on a $300,000 home with 3.5% down at 4% is $208,000. If you divide that $208,000 by 360 months, which is 30 years, you are all paying about $578 per month to rent to the bank in the form of interest. And you already know, single family buyers, that your first mortgage payment was literally 70% interest and only 30% principal. So if your first mortgage payment was $2,000, $1,400 went to interest and only $600 went to principal. Stop talking about you own something. Stop talking about you own something. You are being owned at this moment in time. Okay? And I have not included private mortgage insurance, your property taxes, or your homeowner's insurance. Watch this. Some of you who bought single family homes getting caught up in the American dream, you have more money going out of your pocket every single month due to housing than someone who is renting the same square footage next door to you. I'll repeat. Some of you who quote unquote own your homes have more money going out of your pocket every single month due to housing than somebody who's renting the same square footage next door to you. Okay, so we have to get really present to what's happening. Now, single family buyers, I'm not doing this to shame you. You didn't know, and it's not your fault. I do not hold you accountable for anything that you did not know. Okay, some of you made that decision thinking that it was the right decision. Okay, and I applaud you for having the courage to go after something that you felt was right. Here, I'm trying to correct it so that you can move forward and actually become a real estate investor. All right. Now, for the single family buyers that are out there, if you feel you messed up, please type messed up in chat. Please type messed up. And again, I'm not doing this to shame you. I'm doing this to educate all the people who are renters here to not go down the same path. Renters, watch this. Renters, are you seeing this? You have dozens and dozens of single family buyers who are telling you that they messed up, knowing what they know now. So please do not follow in their footsteps. Now, single family buyers, I need you to type something. Type 6'5". Single family buyer, type 6'5" for me. Okay? The reason I told you to type that, there are 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation, and there are 5 ways to use FHA twice. There are 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. We may have to go backwards to go forward like a bow and arrow. A bow and arrow goes backwards to go forwards, okay? And there's 5 ways to use FHA twice, and I'm going to cover some of them as we go forward, all right? So you are not stuck forever. It's not like, oh, I'm screwed. I'm just going to have to suck it up. No, you are not stuck unless you decide to be stuck, okay? So we're going to move through that, all right? So let's keep it pushing. So if you can pay rent, you can own a single family home, all right? And if you don't want to pay rent or mortgage, you can simply own a multifamily home. It's that simple, y'all. If you don't want to pay rent or mortgage ever again, you can simply own a multifamily home, all right? So let's keep it pushing. Now, the down payment. Down payment. A lot of people think, oh, Julian, I'll never be able to save up that amount of money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Do you realize that this country is not about race? It's about class? You realize, and here's how you know. People of color or African Americans only make up 14% of the country. Yet 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 78%. So you know what that means? That means a lot of white people are living paycheck to paycheck. And the people that are in power don't care what color you are. You think it's about Black Lives Matter? No, it's about, we're not lower class. It's beyond Black Lives Matter. There are people who are in power, who are making the laws and lobbying and things of that nature, who are trying to keep the masses down. They don't care if you're Black or you white, y'all. All right? If 78% of Americans in the quote unquote land of the free are living paycheck to paycheck, something is broken. Okay? So a lot of people think that they can't save up for the down payment. Well, I got some good news for you. Did you know that there is literally a no money down program out there? No money down. No down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration. These images to the right are not stock images. These are men that I actually know. That's Mark. He owns a 2-family in Inglewood, California. That's Kevin. He owns a duplex in Brooklyn, New York. And that's the Roll family. They own a fourplex in Los Angeles near USC. Look at this, y'all. Your intellectual property, what you know, can actually get you physical property. Your intellectual property, what you know, can actually get you physical property. All right? Some of you simply just don't know enough. All right? And I've been dropping game and giving you more information here and now. But information is just a start. It's about the integration of the information. That program is called NACA, NACA.com. NACA.com. All right? So for those of you who ever thought, or maybe never said it, but at least thought it, that I can't afford it, I can't save up for the down payment, I've literally wiped that excuse out forever. It is gone. Don't ever think it or say it again. You have no excuses. I've given you a proven path to go get financed. Okay? So that is wiped clear. You are one step closer to multifamily home buyership at this moment in time. All right? So again, that's NACA.com. Now, you also have another program that you can use. That is the government's FHA program. That is only 3.5% down. NACA is 0% down. The FHA program is 3.5% down. This duplex that I bought in New Orleans, the price was $300,000. The down payment is only 3.5%. That means I only had to put $10,500 down to get this duplex here in New Orleans. Okay, $10,500 down to control a $300,000 property, right? So that's pretty powerful. That's a lot of leverage. Real estate, but even more so, multifamily real estate is the most leveraged asset that the average American can buy. Now, I'm not calling you average. You are all extraordinary for being here on a Tuesday night getting this game while other people are watching the NBA finals and Netflixing and chilling. You are extraordinary. But I'm saying that this asset is one that the average American can get into, and it's the most leveraged one that you can get into given where you are in your journey. Okay, you're going to need housing anyways, so why not own it, and why not have your housing pay you? Okay, cool. So the three things that you will need are credit, which is your history with debt, your cash flow, proof of income, and your cash, which is down payment. I know there are some of you here who say, oh, I'm unemployed, I'm not working right now, and you don't have any cash flow. That is fine. You will not be able to get financed at this moment in time. But if you do not plan on being unemployed forever, then you can still learn the game so that once you do get employed, okay, you can immediately take action and start making offers, right? So these are the three things that you're going to need. Now, let me explain to you why you buy a multifamily first and not a single family. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to get your single family home for free. How many of you want to know how to get a single family home for free? How many want to know how to get a single family home for free? Okay, cool. Let me show you. So if you use FHA to buy your single family home and you put 3.5% down on a $100,000 home, that's only $3,500 down payment. And now you come to this webinar and you say, Julian, I want to buy a multifamily home. Little did you know is that an investment property, your second property, would typically be 25% down. So 25% down on $300,000 is $75,000. When you add up those two down payments, that's $78,000. Okay? But watch this, y'all. Watch this. You simply switch the sequence and you put 3.5% down on the $300,000 home. That's only $10,500. And then after living there for 1 year, which is the FHA requirement, then you go put 10 to 25% down on your single family, which is $25,000. And you see those two down payments added up together, $35,000. Same exact properties, just done in a different sequence. It's literally twice as easy to get a multifamily first and then a single family than it is to get a single family and then a multifamily. Is this making sense? Type clear if this makes sense, y'all. Literally, all I'm asking you to do is change the sequence. You can still get your single family home. I know some of y'all don't want people living above you or next door. You want your white picket fence. I understand that. All I'm asking you to do is switch the sequence. That's all I'm asking you to do. It's not that hard. You've been renting in a multifamily anyways. Why not just go buy one and live like that for 1 more year? Okay? So for those of you who came in late, I see a couple hundred people, more 100 people came in. This is my actual real estate portfolio. I'm doing this, okay? I'm doing this and I'm doing it right now. These are the 10 buildings and the 30 apartments that I control here and now in Brooklyn, New Orleans, and Oakland, all right? In 2019 alone, I bought 7 properties with 25 apartments. Last year alone, I bought 7 properties with 25 apartments, okay? So I'm showing you how to do this and how to play at a big level. So let me give you the play that we're seeking to run, right? First, many of you are renting right now, okay? Let's say it's $1,000 and you pay $1,000 to the landlord and maybe you're stacking $250. Now, that landlord takes that $3,000, they pay the $1,500 mortgage and they pocket the other $1,500 and they do whatever they want with it, all right? So now you want to have an asset just like the one that you're living in. And so you go buy a multifamily home. This is exactly what I did in Brooklyn. Exactly what I did in Brooklyn. So now I move into here and the rents from the 3rd floor and the 2nd floor are $2,000. So that's $2,000 in my pocket. But guess what, y'all? I'm no longer paying rent anymore. So that's actually $3,000 in my pocket, okay? So I take that $3,000 and I do what? I pay the mortgage of $1,500. That leaves me with $1,500 in my pocket. Now, FHA only requires me to live here for 1 year. So then what I'll do is I will simply live there for 1 year. I'll move out into the single family that I desire. I'll move a tenant into this unit. Now that's $3,000 coming from this building, plus the $1,000 from not paying rent a year ago. So that's $4,000. I paid this mortgage of $1,500. I paid this mortgage of $1,500. And now I have 4 units, a 3-family and my single family. I'm living for free. And on top of that, I have $1,000 in my pocket. This is the play that I'm teaching you how to run. This building right here, this property is essential to making this work. You buying this right is essential to making this entire equation work. When y'all signed up on this webinar and got here tonight, some of you had no clue that you're literally 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom. There are some of you who are here tonight that are literally 3 months or less away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom if you just follow the blueprint and the steps that I teach you. Imagine being enslaved in Maryland, because I know a lot of people who are in Maryland here. Imagine being enslaved in Maryland right below the Mason-Dixon line. And when you were on your deathbed, somebody came to you and said, guess what I just found out? The Mason-Dixon line is right there on the horizon by that tall tree. And you've been working on the corporate plantation for 40 years, only to find out on your deathbed that the Mason-Dixon line was right off there on the horizon. If you would have known that all this time, you would have ran for it. But some of you are closer to rent and mortgage freedom than you could have ever imagined. And that's what I'm showing you here tonight, okay? But some people are gonna stay scared. Some people are gonna stay exactly where they are because that's what they know and that's what they're comfortable with. But for those of you who are runaways, who are trying to escape the corporate plantation and have more freedom and walk in your purpose, travel, things of that nature, then this is for you, okay? So the multifamily math. If I told you I found an ATM machine that would eliminate your rent expense forever, and on top of that, give you an extra $90 cash every single month, guaranteed, literally an ATM machine that would give you $1,090 every single month, all you have to do is pay $10,500 one time. Would you give up or go get the money? Would you give up or go get the money? Let me know in chat. I found an ATM machine that'll pay you $1,090 every single month, guaranteed. All you have to do is pay $10,500 one time. This is real basic. This is called ROI. This is cash on cash return, okay? You would literally get your money back in 10 months. Like this is a no-brainer type of investment, okay? So somebody's asking if you have proof. All right, yeah, I encourage you to verify, but I just told you it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. I am proof. I'm gonna show you. You want me to show you the proof? Who was that? Who said if I have proof? Lanicia said if I have proof. Let me show you the proof, Lanicia. Here it is. Here's the ATM machine. Doesn't look like the one at the bodega or at the bank. This is it. The same duplex that I showed you before, the $300,000 duplex, $300,000, 3.5% down, that's $10,500. The rents are $1,600 per unit, that's $3,200 total. The mortgage is $1,259. The taxes and insurance is $335. The CapEx, repair reserve, and vacancy rate is $515. This leaves me with a cash flow of $1,090 every single month. This is my ATM machine, y'all. You've been driving by these ATM machines on your way to work, on your way to the grocery store, on the way to pick up your kids. You just couldn't see them as such because you've been looking at real estate for the aesthetics of real estate and not for the economics of real estate. Once you start to be able to see real estate for the economics, it'll change the way you look at some of the properties that you've been driving by. It may not look like the prettiest properties. They may never, ever, ever be on HGTV. They likely won't be on HGTV. But if they work economically, if they put money into your pocket just like an ATM machine, then we go ahead and buy those kind of properties. So some of you have to change the way you've been looking at real estate in order to get in the game. And that's gonna require mindset change, okay? So answer me this. What other business can you buy for $300,000 with only $10,500 down, get financed for the other $289,000 in 30 to 45 days, have that business immediately cash flow in 30 days or less, and then succeed with minimal time, effort, or experience? Please let me know in chat. There are none, y'all. There are none. Okay. Multifamily real estate is the only business that I know that you can do this in. Okay. But we have to change the way we approach it. Now, a lot of people look at real estate from the aesthetics and not the economics, right? Now, when you're buying a single family home, it's based on aesthetics, right? It's how much did I get approved for? I got approved for $400,000. How much is this home? It's $380,000. Do I like it? Yes, right? 3 decisions. When it comes to multifamily real estate, there's literally 23 numbers that you have to know in order to evaluate a real estate deal. There's 23 numbers that you need to know to evaluate a real estate deal. If you miss one of these numbers, you can literally step into a bad deal. Because I know this is the financial model called the Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer that I've developed, that I use over the past 6 years, that I use to evaluate every single deal that I do. I'm able to evaluate deals in less than 10 minutes using this particular tool, right? I know where to find them. I know what the numbers are. I know what they mean. I know where to find them, and I know how to input them quickly in order to evaluate the deal. In fact, with this financial model, I don't even think. I just go plug in the numbers, and the financial model tells me whether to purchase or pass. It's not an emotional decision. It is purely economics. Okay. Okay. So what I do is I simply run the numbers quickly. Then I text my agent and say, here's my offer. And then finally, I get a DocuSign back. Within 30 minutes, my deal and my offer is in. Within 30 minutes, my offer is in. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. You have to know how to evaluate real estate deals. All right. Now, myth number 2 is that I missed my opportunity. I missed my opportunity. Okay. The reality is you don't miss opportunities in real estate. In real estate, you create opportunities by the way that you find deals and that you structure them through research and relationships. Okay. So again, we have to retrain our eyes. We have to retrain our eyes. All right. A lot of you have been allow your eyes to be trained around real estate by HGTV. Okay. And the way HGTV works, it'll have you believing that this is what every house should look like. And this is what your next investment property should look like. Your first investment property won't look like anything you've ever seen on HGTV. Look, y'all. None of my properties have granite countertops. And guess what? I don't care. None of my properties will ever be featured on HGTV. And guess what? I don't care. When you are buying investment properties, it's not about looking like HGTV. It is about economics, not the aesthetics. All right. You're watching shows like the Property Brothers, and I'm like, look, screw the Property Brothers. I'm your new property brother with an A, and I'm gonna keep it real with you about real estate. This is about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. I wish I could just jump on that show. This is about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. Okay? Watch this. Just peep game, y'all. For some of y'all who have been house shopping and things of that nature, some of y'all walk into a house and you're like, ooh, look at these stainless steel appliances. You getting enamored by an $800 stainless steel fridge. You about to make a $400,000 decision off of an $800 fridge that you can go get from Lowe's or Home Depot? Are you serious? Oh, look at these granite countertops. Those granite countertops cost $1,200 with an undermount sink. You're about to make a $400,000 decision based on a $1,200 countertop? Are you serious? You see how these TV shows have warped you into valuing things that aren't that significant to keep you from focusing on the things that are major, like the roof, like the foundation, like the plumbing, like the electrical. Like these are the most important things, yet they got you focused on things that actually don't make a difference. Okay? So this is my first property in Brooklyn. Okay? It's a 3-family. It's not a traditional brownstone like the Cosby Show. Okay? Has nice wood floors. Has linen white paint. No special paint. They just put this linen white paint over everything. Okay? Now look at my kitchen though. You see granite countertops in there, y'all? Nope. These are the cheapest countertops that you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot. Look at the cabinets. You can all go buy those cabinets right now at Lowe's or Home Depot. Look at my appliances. They're not stainless steel. They are white kitchen appliances. Now, I did love that dishwasher. Okay, that dishwasher was my favorite. The only thing stainless steel in that kitchen is the sink. Okay, so this was my first home. It was not my dream home, and I was fully aware of that, but it made my dreams possible. The cash flow from this particular building alone made my dreams possible. It got me to rent and mortgage freedom. I have not made a housing expense since May of 2013 because of this home. Okay, so you have to retrain your eyes. If you were focused on HGTV, then you would have came in here and you would have missed out. You would have missed out while somebody else took this deal that set their family on a different trajectory for generational wealth. Okay, so you got to know the difference between single family HGTV buyers and multifamily investors. Single family HGTV buyers are looking for granite countertops. Multifamily investors are looking for guaranteed cash flow. Single family HGTV buyers, they buy based on emotion. Multifamily investors buy based on economics. Single family HGTV buyers, they are looking for their dream home. Multifamily investors are looking for an asset that will pay for their dream home. Single family HGTV buyers, they're looking for a finished basement. Multifamily investors are looking to start building wealth. Which side of the equation do you want to be on? If you want to be on the MI side of the equation, type MI in chat. Type MI in chat. Now, somebody said, oh, I want both. Of course you want both. If you do the MI side of the equation right, I can get you the single family home that you desire for absolutely free. Because the cash flow from your multifamily investments will pay for the single family. It's just an order of operations, y'all. Some of y'all want what you want right now, and it's actually not freeing you. It's actually putting you in bondage because you want it now. Whereas if you invested in multifamily real estate first, build up a little portfolio, then you could pay for your single family home that you desire without you coming out of pocket for the mortgage. Like, come on, y'all. Is it too impatient to wait 5 to 10 years? Is that too long? Like, you want to be wealthy tomorrow. This is not how the game works. And you may feel behind, so you're trying to rush to get what you want. But I'm trying to show you, if you can play the longer term game, that you can get everything that you want and desire. Your retirement could be super easy because you're going to have assets. You won't have to rely on no social security or no pension that may not even be there. That you're going to have guaranteed cash flow that you then can hand down to your next generation. You cannot hand down your job to your kids. So if you're a short-term thinker, I can't work with you. It is not going to work for you. It's too impatient. Do I want you to be aggressive? Yes, but impatient? No. Do I want you to be aggressive? Yes, but impatient? No. All right? So multifamily map. A lot of y'all are looking for real estate on sites like Trulia and Zillow. Here's the problem with that. Mass marketed listings regularly command a 30% premium to off-market deals. You have to learn how to find off-market deals, not deals on website. In fact, I don't even call those deals. There's a difference between listings and deals. There's a difference between listings and deals. Trulia and Zillow have a lot of listings, okay? What we are looking for is deals. They don't have that many deals, but they have a lot of listings, okay? So I don't find deals on Trulia and Zillow. I don't find them on the traditional websites. I find off-market deals. Off-market deals through Instagram, through text message, through email, through Facebook. How many of you have had a friend who worked at the Foot Locker or the movie theater or the sporting arena or anything? How many of y'all had a hookup like that before? How many had a hookup like that before in high school? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all had a hookup before? Y'all already had a friend who hooked you up, right? You know what that is called? That is called an off-market deal. I remember I had a friend who worked at Foot Locker, and I got the silver Tim Duncans in high school, and I got them for less than the price, and I got them before everyone else. That is called an off-market deal. But I was using that off-market deal and that relationship, okay, is research and relationships, not websites, research and relationships that get you off-market deals. I was using that off-market deal to buy a liability or an expense. All I'm asking you to do, y'all, is do the exact same thing to now acquire an asset. All the off-market deals that you got have typically been for acquiring asset liabilities and expenses. All I'm asking you to do is now take that same philosophy and apply it to acquiring an asset. Does that make sense? Type clear if that makes sense. Okay? So you know what an off-market deal is. You know you didn't go to the store's website to go buy it. You didn't pay taxes. You didn't do none of that, right? This is what we're trying to do. I'm not asking you to avoid taxes, but y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? So one of my students, Gabrielle, she said, hey, Ronique, congrats on finding this deal. Did you find it on Zillow? He said, no, I found it through a real estate financial broker who knew a wholesaler, okay? This is how we find deals in our community. This is how I train you to find deals. So you have to have the 4 eyes of real estate. What are the 4 eyes of real estate? They are eyes for the market, eyes for the neighborhood, the property, and the deal. Eyes for the market means how do you know if a market is expanding or contracting, okay? What are the data points that you look at? What are the trends you look at? Then eyes for the neighborhood. You have to know what the 23 signs of gentrification are. One of the signs of gentrification is white girl running through the neighborhood in her Lululemon at 9:30 at night with her earpods in, not in her Apple Watch on, iWatch on, not looking over her shoulder and feeling very comfortable. That is a sign of gentrification. I'm sorry to say it, but it's just true. It's a sign of gentrification, okay? You have to know what all 33 signs of gentrification are. Now, do you buy in a neighborhood where there are all 33 signs of gentrification? Do you buy in a neighborhood where there are all 33 signs of gentrification? Ishmael got it right. No, you do not. You do not, because that's when you're going to be buying at the peak of the market. You buy in a neighborhood where there's 15 to 20 signs of gentrification and it's moving towards 33. I bought in Brooklyn, right, in Bed-Stuy on the East New York side of Utica. I bought there when there are about 15 to 20 signs of gentrification. Today, there are about 30 signs of gentrification there. So what has happened to my property value? It has risen. I like to say I bought in Bed-Stuy when they were still shooting up. I'm talking about guns. But guess what's happened to my property value ever since then? It is still shooting up. It is still shooting up. Okay? So this is what you got to do in order to get all of that appreciation that you deserve. Okay? Now, some of you have been relying and putting your whole real estate search on a real estate agent. That's the wrong thing to do. You need a real estate advisor. You realize that your real estate agent probably doesn't know what cash on cash return is. Your real estate agent probably doesn't know what cash on cash return is. Okay? Why? Because it's not on the real estate exam. Real estate agents are in the business of selling single family homes to American dreamers. Okay? They don't understand multifamily real estate unless they themselves also invest in multifamily real estate. I don't work with agents who don't buy multifamily real estate themselves. Okay? So you have to educate yourself and then you use your real estate agent to execute the deal. But you have to lead them. I lead my real estate agents. I tell them what to do. They don't tell me what to do. Not from a power tripping, just because I know how to evaluate a real estate deal. Okay? So your real estate agent executes on the deal, but you're the one who has to evaluate the deal. Okay? Your real estate agent will go execute on whatever deal you tell them to do. And it could be a bad deal. They don't care. If you get foreclosed on, they don't care. So it's up to you to evaluate the deal. Okay? Joanna says, I'm an agent that's an investor. That's the only type of agent that I work with. Okay? I do not work with novice real estate agents that primarily sell single family homes. They have to be able to run the numbers and know exactly what I'm looking for. Okay? So finally, myth number 3. This is a huge one, and this one is going to give some of y'all a headache because of what you've been conditioned and programmed to believe. You've been conditioned to believe that I need to pay down my debt first. Okay? I need to pay down my debt first. That's not true. The reality is you need to buy an asset that will pay down your debt first. I need to buy an asset that will pay down my debt first. I'm going to just let that sit for a second. You don't have to pay down your debt, y'all. You need to acquire an asset that will pay down your debt. Now, some of y'all are on that Dave Ramsey tip and you want to be debt free and you want to ring his bell and things of that nature. Here's why that is wrong. You realize that being debt free does not mean that you are financially free? I'm going to say that again. Debt free does not mean that you are financially free if all your income is still active income. If you still are trading time for money to make income, you are not financially free. Financial freedom is when your passive income is greater than your cost of living, not your active income. Okay? So debt free does not mean that you are financially free. It is a great step forward, but it does not mean financial freedom. Now, a lot of you have a negative relationship to debt because you've been using bad debt. The bad debt is debt that you have to pay off. That's credit cards, single family mortgage, student loans. Okay? These are all bad debts. I don't care how you break it down. They're all bad debts because you have to pay them. What you want to do is you want to acquire good debt. You want to acquire debt to buy an asset that pays for the debt back and gives you cash flow and other benefits. So when you use debt to acquire a multifamily home, that multifamily home then gives you cash flow to pay off your single family mortgage. The fact that you're no longer paying rent, you can pay off your credit card debt. And the fact that you're getting all these tax savings, you use that to pay off your student loans. So you want to acquire good debt to pay off bad debt. Is this clear, y'all? Is this clear? Okay. So debt is not bad. It's how you've been using debt and what you've been using it for. When you use debt to acquire a liability or pay an expense, that is bad debt. But when you use it to acquire an asset or something that produces income, that is good debt. In fact, money is very cheap right now. Money is cheap right now. If I can borrow money at 3.5% and I know how to make that money work at 15%, how much money should I borrow, y'all? If I can borrow money at 3.5% and I know how to make it work at 15%, how much money should I borrow, y'all? Nikki got it. You should borrow as much as you absolutely can. There is nothing wrong with debt and leverage as long as you know what you're doing and you have assets that you know you can buy. All right? So this is a new understanding for a lot of y'all. Some of y'all still not grasping it, but I want you to sit with it and think about it. Okay? I want you to sit with it and think about it. All right? So how many have student debt? How many have student debt? I'm gonna show y'all a trick to get your student debt off. Some of y'all are been rushing to pay off your student debt. And let's just say you have $40,000 in student debt and you are on the Dave Ramsey plan and you're like, I can't wait to pay off my student loans. I hate Sally Mae. Why do you hate Sally Mae? Hate your college. There's nothing wrong with Sally Mae or Nelnet. They are just the ones that are servicing your debt. Hate your college. Hate your liberal arts education because you should have been getting a liberation arts education. What I'm giving you tonight is liberation arts education. You went and paid all this money for liberal arts education, which is education you have to pay for. Liberation arts education is education that frees you. Okay? So don't hate Sally Mae or Nelnet. They're not the enemy. Hate your college. Hate not having parents, not hate your parents, but not having parents who couldn't educate you as an 18-year-old not to sign those documents, to think differently about your future. Okay? So let's go forward. So some of y'all are rushing to pay off your student debt. You are absolutely wrong. You are absolutely wrong. Let me explain. Two students have $40,000 in debt. One student is on the Dave Ramsey plan, rushing to pay it off. The other person comes to this webinar and they buy a multifamily home. Okay? The one student who's on the Dave Ramsey plan is like, I'm going to pay off $20,000 a year for the next 2 years. I'm going to eat top ramen and peanut butter jelly sandwich, and I'm going to sleep on somebody's floor and barely pay rent. And that's how I'm going to pay off my student debt. And I can't wait to ring that bell. Okay? So they, for the next 2 years, are living very meagerly. And after 2 years, they pay off their student debt. Ta-da! Right? Now, the other person went and bought a $300,000 home by putting $10,500 down. They didn't rush to pay off their debt. And now the cash flow from that home is paying off their student loans. Okay? So back to person A, who's on the Dave Ramsey plan. Now they have to save up money because they've given all their money to Sally Mae and Nelnet, right? They have to now save up money to go get that down payment. So it takes them another 2 years to save that up. How much is the home worth now? How much is the home worth right now? After 4 years, if the home only appreciated by 3% every single year, that home is now worth $340,000, y'all. So watch this. The person rushed to pay off $40,000 in student debt, eating top ramen and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, sleeping on the floor at somebody's house. They thought they were being good by paying off their debt. But now they have to pay $40,000 more for the same house that they could have got initially 4 years ago. They just got that $40,000 in debt handed back to them in the form of a mortgage because they didn't buy a multifamily property when the other person did. They paid the debt twice, y'all. By rushing to pay off the student debt, they ended up paying the debt twice. They paid $40,000 to Sally Mae, and now they're going to pay another $40,000 to their mortgage servicer. The other person hasn't paid a dime. I don't think y'all caught that. Y'all gonna have to watch a replay or something. I'm gonna have to set up a replay for y'all because I don't think y'all caught that. This person rushed to pay off $40,000 in debt, struggled for 2 years, living very minimally. They paid Sally Mae, right? And now they want to buy the same house that the person B bought 4 years ago, but it cost $40,000 more. They've literally paid the debt twice, while person B has not paid a single dime in their student debt because the asset paid for it. So for all of you out there who are rushing to pay off your student debt on that cheap money, I have another path for you that will actually get you more free. All right? So when it comes to multifamily real estate, there's 4 financial benefits, okay? There is over 30 years, this one property that I shared with you before, this is what it's gonna do for me and my last name. The cash flow on that property after principal, interest, taxes, insurance, capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate will be $638,000. The tax savings on this property will be $278,000, y'all. The principal pay down will be $225,000. And the appreciation, if this property appreciates by 1% every single year for the next 30 years, and that's very conservative because property typically appreciates by 3%, this property will have yielded $1.2 million in net worth from me and my last name. One single property. One single property. And right now I have 10 of them. Y'all know that if I stop right now, at the age of 35, my daughter who's 6 years old, all these mortgages are paid off. At the age of 35, you know that my daughter will have $25,000 in positive cash flow coming to her every single month for the rest of her life after the age of 35, all because of what I did and the decisions I made in the past 7 years. That is love, y'all. That is sacrifice. Not your Christmas gifts, not your birthday parties. It is setting the next generation up for success and doing whatever you have to do to make sure that that happens. That is love. Not the new outfits, not the new shoes. That is not love. Setting them up for success in this way is love. All right? So you have to ask yourself the $1 million question. What are you going to do today to make sure that you are never economically vulnerable like this tomorrow? Coronavirus exposed a lot of you all. Coronavirus caught a lot of y'all with your pants down, realizing that, ooh, I'm vulnerable. I have no assets whatsoever. I've been working for 15 years and have nothing to show for it. Coronavirus exposed a lot of folks, okay? So you got to do something different to make sure that you're never exposed like this again. So a lot of people talk about securing the bag. Here's how you do it. You do that by securing a building. And then that will secure your housing. It'll secure your retirement. And it will secure your legacy. All right? So in chat, let me know what was the number one thing that you learned from tonight's webinar. What was the number one thing that you learned? What was your greatest takeaway? I'm curious to know. Buy multifamily first. Multifamily is the bag. I love this dude too. Purchasing multifamily, didn't know a damn thing. Multifamily first, after a year, liberation arts, buy assets first. I need to get pre-approved. Learn about NACA, just do it. We've been doing it wrong. No down payment needed. Ways I can get in the game, get a multifamily property. Boom, 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 boom. NACA, multifamily first. Great. These are great. I learned that I'm homeless. Cool. So, so with that, earlier I asked for your permission if I gave you some game. I asked for your permission if I could share an opportunity with you all to consider. If I have the green light to do that, please let me know in chat. Again, this is only for those who are serious. If you think you got it all figured out, if I've given you enough, then I wish you the best on your journey. I do believe that what I share with you tonight will help you in terms of your wealth journey or trying to get multifamily real estate on your own. But if you want to accelerate your process and make sure that you don't want to make any mistakes, then I would love to share this opportunity with you. Ushika said, permission granted. All right, so let me get it in so I can get y'all off to bed tonight. So obviously you all still here because you want generational wealth, you want passive income, and you want more freedom. And I know because that was me too. Now, there are many different ways to make money in real estate. You're probably hearing about tax liens and wholesaling and Airbnb and fix and flips, et cetera. My expertise, obviously, as I've demonstrated, is in multifamily real estate. This is where I can do a deep dive with you to make sure that you get that first property. But remember, I don't just want you to have one property. I want you to erase the idea of getting one property out of your head. Just erase it. Go ahead. Everybody put an eraser on your temple and just erase it. Just erase real quick. Erase the idea of getting one property out of your head and say, I actually want a portfolio. Everybody type portfolio. Do we need that first property to build your portfolio? Yes. But this is not about you just getting one property. This is about you building a portfolio. One property will get you to rent and mortgage freedom, but we're ultimately trying to get you to full freedom, meaning that your real estate portfolio covers all of your living expenses and your single family home, okay? Where you're literally living for free, all right? So this portfolio, as I've showed you, this is my portfolio. This portfolio was built out over the past 6 years. Over the past 6 years, this is when I built this portfolio, okay? And I believe if I knew what I knew now, that I'd be able to build this a lot faster. And that's why I put this together for you. Now, for those of you who might be skeptics out there or cynics, there's always those who are around who just don't believe in anything. And for those of you who are first and foremost, cynicism, SIN hyphen schism, is the greatest sin in the world. It's not believing. It's not believing in anything. Mostly, it's not believing in yourself. Okay, cynicism is the greatest sin in the world, right? So it is always done unto you as you believe. So if you don't believe something's going to work for anybody or yourself, then it's just not going to work. You know, a lot of people say I have to see it to believe it. That's absolutely the opposite of the truth. You want to know what the truth is? The truth is that you have to believe it to see it. If you believe that all men are dogs, then guess what? When a man walks by you who's a god, you won't recognize him. If you believe that all women are witches, then guess what? When a princess walks by you, you won't recognize her because your belief says that she or he does not exist. So there are some people who believe that this is not possible for them. And therefore, even when the opportunity presents itself right in front of their face, they will not see it because they simply don't believe. And as scripture says, it is done unto you as you believe. Whatever you believe will come true. Henry Ford said, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. It's up to you. All right. So for those who are cynics out there, I want to show you proof that these are actually my properties. You can go to nolaassessor.com. Anytime you're looking at property values or owners, you go to the assessor's website for your city. For me, it's NOLA, New Orleans, assessor.com. And you can search Julian Newton Gordon or Purpose Properties, and you will find that all the properties that I've shown you here in New Orleans are actually mine, okay? So I'm just putting that out there for any skeptics out there. These are not stock images. These are properties that I actually have all the keys to right here and right now, all right? So I just wanted to say that real quick. Now, what I want to invite you to all be a part of is a 12-week experience I created for you called the Multifamily Masterplan, where I'll work with you through everything that we just discussed and a lot more to accelerate how quickly you're able to buy a multifamily home in the right way that gives you rent freedom for those of you who are renters and or positive cash flow that pays another debt like a single family home mortgage, student loans, credit cards, or medical bills, all right? Now, the way that program is structured, it is as 5 modules. Finance it, find it, finalize it, fix it, and fill it. I'm gonna walk through those really, really quick, all right? The finance it module is no to low money down programs and grants you can use to get started without a huge savings. What exactly are lenders looking for? The key numbers and ratios you need to be aware of. Quick credit fixes to improve your credit score and keep your interest rate down and savings, save tens of thousands of dollars in interest. FHA loans debunk the dark side that most people don't tell you beyond it being only 3.5% down. Why you must shop for lenders first and not the home, and how to get the lowest rates possible by doing so. You realize some of you are shopping on Trulia Zillow. You may find the perfect property or deal, but you don't have financing lined up. You've been doing it backwards. You need to have your lending lined up first, and then you go shopping, okay? Why you should go as big as possible on your first multifamily home as long as it makes sense, all right? This is Sandy. She said, hey fam, just wanted to share. It's very important to interview several lenders. I now have 3 pre-approval letters, one for $500K, one for $415, and the last one I got is VA for $700. For the newbies in the group, don't skip steps. I will leverage these to get the best rate, but of course, the VA loan is my first choice. So I'm teaching her how to make lenders compete. You're the one who's putting the food on the lender's table. They're not putting food on yours. You're not going to beg them. So you have to know how to stand in your power and make them fight for your business, all right? That's what I teach. Then module 2, find it. How to find great deals in your backyard, literally. My first deal was literally in my backyard. I was renting on Fulton Street in Brooklyn, and the home that I ended up buying literally shares a backyard with the home that I was renting. Okay, my office looks at the office in my actual home. So there's deals in your backyard. You just don't have to see them yet because your eyes haven't been trained. You also get the 33 signs of gentrification, how to ensure that you buy right before the prices rise in your neighborhood and not right after they do. How to use the internet and specific websites you need to know. I'm not talking Trulia and Zillow, okay, or Redfin, and how to do due diligence on a deal with those websites. How to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance. Why asking price doesn't matter, the real metrics that make a deal worth it or not, and the people and tools you need in place to get off-market deals coming to you daily, all right? Then in the finalize it module, you're going to get the 23 numbers, the purchase or pass deal analyzer. You're going to get the purchase or pass deal analyzer and the 23 numbers you need to know to truly evaluate whether to purchase or pass on a real estate opportunity. How to quickly evaluate a deal in 10 minutes or less so that you can get your offer in before anyone else. The 4 most overlooked numbers that can make or break a deal. How to never pay at or above asking price and get it reduced to whatever you desire without worrying about the seller walking away. And then the 5 ways to exit any deal if the numbers aren't adding up or something doesn't feel right. This is module 4, fix it. the 10 types of contractors you need to have and trust and on speed dial once the deal is in motion, how to vet your team beyond using Yelp or Angie's List, the questions to ask and the things to look for, walk, crawl, climb, everything you must do, ask, and look for during the inspection process. I want to take a pause real quick and let you know that the inspection process is one of your greatest points of leverage in the negotiation. I've literally helped the student get the price down by $35,000, and I've got a price down on the property by over $80,000. Okay, leveraging the inspection process. You have to know how to do this properly. Okay, there's strategies to it. First things first, what are the very first things you need to do once you have the keys? Hint, it is not move in. And then fix it or nix it. What you should fix immediately and what can wait for later until cash starts flowing. And then finally is the fill it module. You're a landlord now. How to avoid those 3 a.m. phone calls and manage a building without always being there. How to find great tenants fast if you have vacant units that need to be filled. What you need, who you need, and where to post. Free download of my sample lease agreement and long distance investing secrets. How to manage your investments without being there in the top 20 markets to invest in. All right, so those are the core 5 modules. For those of you who are single family buyers, I told you to type 6-5 earlier. Why? Because there are 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation, and there's 5 ways to use FHA twice. I literally have a module here for you. Single family homeowners, 6 ways to escape if you did, and 5 ways to use FHA twice. This is the first module that all of you who are single family buyers will go to figure out which of the 6 pathways is going to be best for you. I want you to keep in mind, only 2 of them require you to sell. I know that some of you have emotional attachments to the homes that you own right now. We can use the equity, right? And there's several ways to use your equity in order to get you into multifamily real estate investing, okay? So this module literally lays out the 6 pathways for you. And if you want to move, then we show you how to use FHA twice if you've already used FHA, all right? This is for single family buyers. This is Delvia said, so at this point, I'm pretty sure I need to sell my 2 family in order to move forward. My question is, should I sell it, list it now, or wait until I'm a little further along in the program? So Delvia is actually selling his 2 family home in order to actually go into a 4 family. Okay. Jason said, I strongly believe that this movement, in this family has been life-changing, and I haven't gotten to the meat of it yet, but just refied my home today in preparation for multifamily purchase soon. Rent out this one and seek out the multifamily investment next. It's been an amazing 3 months for me to call all the for me. All right. So that's Jason. All right. So let me share with you really quickly some of my student success. This is the Roll family. They have a 4-plex in Los Angeles, California. Said, Julian's journey has always been an inspiration to my wife and I. We didn't think we were ready, but Julian helped us see that we were. Now that we own a 4-plex in Los Angeles that is already appreciated, generates enough cash flow for my wife and I to both step into entrepreneurship full time while still being financially responsible parents of our 1-year-old daughter, Jubilee. All right. This is the Campbell family. They have a duplex in Charlotte, North Carolina. Said, my issue was that I had a rental property that I wasn't cash flowing because I didn't buy right, as Julian always says. Thanks to his coaching, we came up with a strategy to sell that property and leverage it into a multifamily unit using a 1031 exchange. We found a real estate attorney to transfer the rental property out of my name and into an LLC. Now that we corrected our real estate wrongs and have a cash flowing Airbnb in Charlotte, which Julian taught me how to scale quickly, and a multifamily where we live mortgage free in one of the 2 units. This is Dante. He closed in 34 days. He bought in New Orleans. I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans. He's now moved to Oakland, so he gets that managed from a distance. This is Jackie. She closed on a triplex and a single family from a distressed seller in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right. This is Spencer. He lives in Texas, bought a duplex in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. All right. This is the Powell family. They live in Oakland, a very expensive market. So they ended up investing in Detroit, Michigan. And again, for those of you who live in expensive markets and don't feel it's affordable, remember that your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. You own Apple stock, you've never been to Cupertino. You own Nike stock, you've never been to Beaverton. You own Amazon stock, you've never been to Seattle, okay? You do not have to be where your money is working, okay? Then this is Jason. I helped him find this duplex in New Orleans. He lives in San Antonio, Texas. So that was his first investment property. Robin, single mom, okay, bought this multifamily here in New Orleans, all right? Ronique, he closed in less than 30 days on this 4-plex in Birmingham, Alabama. He's already on his next property, which he bought for $25,000, a duplex. He's going to renovate it for $45,000, and it's going to be worth $175,000. He's literally about to step into $100,000 in equity because of what I taught him in this program. So happy for Ronique. One of our youngest students, Demetrius, used his VA loan. Okay, for those of you who are vets out there, he used his VA loan and he closed on this fourplex in Killeen, Texas in 4 months. Steven lives in New York, expensive market. He's the one that I was talking about. I helped him get the price down on this duplex in New Orleans by $35,000. By $35,000. Okay. April, she bought this fourplex in Virginia Beach, Virginia. She lives in one unit, Airbnb's the others, and even in the midst of COVID, she made $28,000 on Airbnb. Jay, she closed on this single family. Normally, I don't have my students do single families, but a couple of them have because she found one with a lot of equity that still made sense. All right. Then this is for Fernando and his family. They bought this in LA in March of 2020 at the beginning of coronavirus. And they're going to run the group home business model through it. And they said that the numbers are crazy as a group home. Terrence bought this fourplex in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania using his VA loan. All right. Jetro went to University of Florida. He bought in a neighborhood in Florida, in Gainesville, Florida, that he's familiar with. So he closed on this fourplex on April 30th in the middle of COVID. Okay. Sandra closed on this property in Kansas City, Missouri, a duplex, which she's going to renovate and then do a cash out refi. Nicole closed on this property in Chicago, a fourplex, originally $362,000. I taught her how to get the price down by $22,000, and she got it at $340,000. Devin closed on this duplex in East Orange, New Jersey, for those of you in the Northeast, on May 12th. Okay. Then Malika did a single family foreclosure rehab in Baton Rouge and just finished that project up. Alan closed on this property, triplex in Baltimore, Maryland, and here's in April, May, June. So basically 2 to 3 months. Here's what he said. Hello, Julian. I just want to thank you for the great service that you provide. I learned a great deal from your detailed instruction over the past 3 months during the pandemic, and I recently closed on a multifamily property in Baltimore, Maryland on 6/17/20. The property cash flows, and it is an appreciating market with built-in equity as well. I would not have had the confidence to handle that deal like such a boss without the expert knowledge provided in your course. I felt like I had all the answers to the test at every step along the way. Thanks again, brother, for being the gateway to freedom and generational wealth. I will certainly pay it forward. So that was June 17th, just before Juneteenth. Then Aisha and Darren, they closed on this triplex in Providence, Rhode Island in just 3 months. This is Tyler and Olivia. They closed on a fourplex here in New Orleans. It took them about a year to go through the process, but regardless, they closed. Alyssa closed on this property in Pensacola, Florida in just under 2 months. All right. Dante, another Baltimore, Maryland, closed on this fourplex in 6 months. Elena and Aaron, they live in LA. They closed on a duplex in Detroit, Michigan. Man, come on, y'all. Agents Karen and Jamel, they closed on this property in Norfolk, Virginia. I'm going to speed through the rest. Dante Morgan closed on this property September 15th in Columbia, South Carolina. Jimmy and his wife, they closed on 3 different properties in Chicago, even though they live in Dallas. Crystal closed on this property on October 3rd, y'all. On this single family, she closed on October 3rd. And my most recent closing was today, y'all. My most recent closing was today. Tafara closed on this duplex in Baltimore, Maryland. It took her 5 months. So look, y'all, we got wins upon wins upon wins, receipts, receipts, receipts. This system works, y'all. So I'm just so happy. I want to share all of them, but I'll stop there for now, okay? So look, y'all, the multifamily master plan, normally it would be $1,999 a la carte by itself. But today I'm actually going to show you how to get it for free. I'm going to show you how to get it for free. All right. Y'all heard me? I'm going to show you how to get it for free. Right? I repeat, it is all free. All right. You're probably like, what's the catch? All you have to do is join the Multifamily Movement Mastermind, which is committed to creating freedom and generational wealth through real estate. My commitment is to help 300 people or families acquire a cash flow positive multifamily home within 6 months of being pre-qualified. Why 300? Because that's what Harriet Tubman did. She freed 300 families over the course of about a decade. Okay. I hope to do it a lot sooner. So Julian, you just said it was free. What do you mean I got to join this mastermind? Well, here's the reality. How many of you have a book on your bookshelf that you intended to read to improve your life that you never cracked open? Let me know in chat. Just keep it real with me. Okay. They call that shelf help, right? Why? Because information is not enough. Information is not enough. Information is not what gets us to freedom. Okay. I'm not just here for the transfer of information. I'm here for your transformation. So the information about multifamily real estate, I'm willing to give to you for free. But in order to get access to that information, you have to pay for the accountability and the structure that I provide, right? How many of you wanted to lose weight this year, but still got a gut? How many wanted to lose weight this year, but still got a gut? Keep it real. I'm just joking with y'all, but I'm being serious at the same time. Why? There's all kinds of free recipes on the internet. There's all kinds of free workouts on YouTube, yet you still got a gut. So free does not mean that you will be transformed. It's not about the information. It's about the integration of the information. And so what I provide is the structure and accountability. You can go try to piece together all this information on YouTube, podcasts, blog posts, and books if you want to. Okay, the information is out there. But if you pay for the accountability and the structure, I will happily give you every piece of knowledge that I know about multifamily real estate in my head. I will happily give it to you once you pay for the structure and the accountability that makes me know that you're going to integrate it, all right? So that's how I structure this program. I'm more like a personal trainer and your real estate advisor, pushing you to make sure that this happens. Because I know that once you get a multifamily home in your last name, then I know that that's going to create generational wealth for you. Now, this is a movement in real life, y'all. This is the movement in real life. This is 100 of us here in New Orleans this past MLK weekend. That's me right there. And my daughter, who I told you about, that's her right there. She's going to be getting $25,000 if I stop right now in cash flow for the rest of her life. Okay, this is real life. I hope to slap hands with you once all this Corona stuff is done, etc., and meet you in a real person. It's not a program where you sign up and you never hear from me. I'm really hands-on. Okay, so the multifamily course, actually, it's not a course. I'm going to explain to you why. It's more of an experience. So only 20% of this program is actually on the computer. Why? Because you will not find real estate deals just sitting in front of a computer watching some videos. This is not a program where you're just going to Netflix and chill and go through some videos and expect a real estate deal to land in your lap. Okay? So 40% of this program is actually on the phone, right? You're talking to agents, you're talking to lenders, you're talking to wholesalers, you're talking to contractors, right? You have to be in contact with people. And then 40% of this program is actually in your shoes and in your car, actually experiencing new properties in neighborhoods. Multifamily real estate and real estate in general is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people and properties, all right? So let me share with you how the program is structured. Let me show you how it's structured. So every week you're gonna have a new challenge. You literally have to get up out of your seat. I'm gonna get up out of my seat and go do something. You're not just watching videos here, okay? This is action oriented, right? I told you you have to learn real estate by doing it. So we'll have our financial house cleaning challenge. Then you have your lender shopping challenge, the pre-approval challenge, the real estate agent challenge, the neighborhood knowledge challenge #1, the deal a day challenge. Then you'll have your real estate team building challenge, your new neighborhood challenge #2, your deal a day challenge, and you'll do the neighborhood and deal a day challenge over and over and over again, okay? Habitually until you actually find a deal, all right? Now, let me just show you really quickly how the program is structured and laid out so you can see how detailed it is. When you get in the program, when you get in, do not skip steps. Every single module is important. I didn't put any fat in the program. Everything that is here for a specific reason. Everything will save you money or make you money in some way, shape, or form, all right? So this is how detailed the program is. Every week you'll get a new module. The modules will start with your mindset. Okay, we renew your mind, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And then from there, we go into action. So mindset, then movement. Mindset, then movement. Mindset, then movement. All right. Now, how do I hold you accountable? Every week we have our weekly deal room calls. And on those calls, one, you have to report to me what you did in the past week to move forward on your goal. Then we have coaching where you can jump in the hot seat and I will coach you in the context of community, in front of the community, about whatever issue it is that you're having challenges with as you're moving along your journey. And then you have to create an action plan for the upcoming week on what you're going to do. So every single week we get together to hold you accountable to make sure that you're making progress on achievement. This is why I have so many success stories, right? Because I'm pushing people every single week. I'm holding you accountable. Even when you don't want to show up, I show up for you, okay? Then you'll also get the purchase of past deal analyzer that I showed you. You'll get access to this immediately when you join. This is absolutely priceless. I use this to evaluate every single deal that I do. You'll know what the 23 numbers are and how to plug them in, and it will tell you whether you should move on a deal or not, right? And then you'll get a ticket to my live 2-day event in New Orleans. It's my wealth and real estate weekend. On day 1, I share with you all of my wealth building principles beyond real estate. And then day 2, we do all real estate, okay? And so that ticket is worth $599. This was here, again, a group at MLK weekend, and this is one of my properties that we were visiting and going through as I was doing renovations on it, okay? So when you put all of that together, you put the multifamily master plan lifetime. It's lifetime access to the program at $1,999. The multifamily weekly deal room calls and coaching, that's $2,399. The purchase of past deal analyzer, which is priceless. And then the live two-day event in New Orleans at $599. Everything that I'm sharing with you is worth $4,997, but that is not what you will pay tonight whatsoever. Now, let me ask you this, and I'll share with you the price. Would it be worth $4,997 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Please let me know in chat. To eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever. That's a no-brainer, right? Would it be worth $4,997 if all it did was help you acquire one cash flow positive multifamily within the next year? Let's say it didn't take you 3 months. Let's say it didn't take you 6 months. Let's say it took you a whole year. Would it still be worth it? Okay. Now, but would it be worth $4,997 if the only thing that it did, only thing you learned was how to buy right so that you never ended up underwater on a real estate deal thanks to the purchase of past deal analyzer? You never made a mistake on a real estate deal. Because when you buy a bad deal, it is hard to get out of it without taking an L. All right. So here are your options. Option number one is you do nothing. And option number one feels free, but it's actually going to cost you the most. Why? Because your rents are going to continue to rise. You're going to be losing more money, and they're going to rise too high for you to save because your wages aren't going up. And then eventually the prices of real estate will start rising again too high for you to ever buy. And so this is going to feel free. You're probably like, oh, I'm going to go try to piece it together on YouTube, etc. Go ahead. That's what many of you have been doing to this point in time, and it hasn't gotten you into the door. So we have to do something different. Now, earlier, you all said that you would go get the money, right? I gave you a hypothetical situation. Would you give up or go get the money, right? And you all using your Twitter finger talk about how hard you were. Like, you know me, Julian, I'm about that life by any means necessary. I'll do what I got to do. You know me, anything for the last name, anything for my family, anything for my kids. You was talking a good game when you was using your Twitter fingers for this hypothetical situation. Talking about how gangster you were behind the computer screen on that keyboard. Okay. But now this is a real life situation that it is really about your family, that it is really about your last name. And the question is, will you give up or go get the money? So you can all join this program tonight for as low as $14.97, a one-time payment of $14.97. That's literally the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent expense or mortgage expense to put you in position to never have to pay rent or mortgage ever again. When I saw some of your rent numbers and your mortgage numbers before, literally all I'm asking you is for the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage to put you in position to never pay rent or mortgage expense ever again. And you can go to multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com. Okay. When you join on the one pay, you will save $597. You will save $597. Okay. Again, that's multifamilymovement.com. You get access to everything immediately, and it is lifetime access. It is lifetime access, okay? So, and that includes everything right there. Now, this is what Brandon said. Brandon said, Julian, thanks to you, bro. I was apprehensive at first to take your class due to the price point. I thought I could have learned from YouTube University. Laugh out loud. In retrospect, you dropped too many jewels for me to count. One example saved me $1,200 by making the lenders compete. It was money well spent. For the new people reading this, Julian is a truth, good people, and has a wealth of knowledge. Appreciate all that you do, good brother, and the profound impact you make on so many. Brandon also went on to get his FHA approval, and guess what? His appraisal came in at $14,000 above his offer. So he's literally about to step into $14,000 in equity. He's literally about to 10x his investment in the program off of his first purchase immediately. Okay. That's not even including the cash flow, the tax savings, the principal pay down, the appreciation. Just off doing what I told him to do, he's already about to 10x his investment. Okay. So this is the power of this program. Now, how many of you need a payment plan? How many need a payment plan? Okay. If you don't have $14.97, that is a red flag. Obviously, you've been working for 5 to 25 years, and if you don't have $14.97 to invest in yourself, that's a red flag. And I mean that it doesn't mean that you're broke. You are not broken. You are perfect, whole, and complete. Okay. But something in your financial system is broken, and we need to plug that hole. And one of the greatest leaks in anybody's financial system is rent or mortgage expense. Okay. So this is the hole that we are seeking to plug. So for those of you who need a payment plan, I have an option for you, and that option is to join for $349 a month. Only $349 per month for 6 months. This is not a subscription that goes on forever. Okay, it is for 6 months. I don't want to be incentivized to try to keep you forever. They're one of those subscriptions that you sign up for, you forget that you're on it, and it just keeps billing you. No, $349 for 6 months only. After that, it ends, and you have lifetime access to the program. Now, when you join on the subscription plan, you will get the first 3 modules. After that, the rest of your modules will be dripped to you as your payments come in. Okay, they will be dripped to you as your payments come in. When you join on the one pay, $14.97, you save $597 and you get access to everything immediately. Okay, so that is the difference between the two options. $14.97, access everything immediately. $349 per month, pay a little bit more. Okay, and then your modules will also be dripped to you as your payments come in. It's only out of fairness to the people who are fully committed. I reward them for fully committing. Okay, but if you are not in a financial position to fully commit at this moment in time, then start at the $349 payment plan. Okay. Now, real quick, y'all. How many of you heard of Fortune Builders? How many of you heard of Fortune Builders? Okay. How much does Fortune Builders charge? How much does Fortune Builders charge, y'all, for the same information? Angela and Walker said it. $30,000 to $50,000. There are other people from other cultures who are charging $30,000 to $50,000 for the same information. I went to a hotel meeting here in New Orleans. 70% of the people in the room were people of color, and they're literally stealing your down payment. They're literally stealing your down payment. So after I saw that, I was like, you know what? I got to bring this information to my people who are as affordable as possible. Okay. And so this is what I came up with. Literally a fraction of what they charge, I am offering this to you for. I don't want your down payment. I don't need your down payment. I need you to have your down payment so that you can get to the closing room. And in fact, I don't even want your $597. Okay. And here's what I'm going to do for the people who need to take the payment plan. For the people who are on the payment plan, I'm going to give you 60 days to pay off the balance. So you will go to the page, multifamilymovement.com. You will start on the $349 per month plan. And if you pay off the balance within 60 days, I will honor the $14.97. I will honor it, and you will still save the $597. So what will happen is you will join $349 tonight, okay? And then if you pay before the next payment is scheduled to come out, right, which will be what, November 6th? If you pay the balance of $1148 before November 6th, you'll save the $14.97. Or you pay $349 October 6th, then November 6th, then December 6th, and then if you pay the $799 before January 6th, then you will save the $14.97. I don't want the $597. I'd rather you have it. So if you have a financial windfall that's coming, you have a birthday that's coming up, and you expect to get some money, whatever it is, if you see some money coming in, then start at the $349 a month plan, okay? And then pay off the balance within 60 days, and you will still save the $597. Is that fair, y'all? Is that fair? All right. I don't need the $597, and I don't want your down payment, okay? But I have to make, you have to have some skin in the game. You have to have some skin in the game. The pace that I'm going to help you get this property at, the money that you're going to save from not making mistakes is way above the value of this program, okay? It's way above, okay? And on top of that, once you get one property, I already know that it's going to pay for itself. So this is how I structured it. Again, that's multifamilymovement.com, all right? Now, who should join? Who should join? Join the movement if you're a renter who has paid over $50,000 in rent living on your own. If you're a single family buyer who wants to become a real estate investor, and if you're willing to make the sacrifices today for success in the future. Please do not join this program. Do not join this program. If you are looking for a get-rich-quick scheme and need money yesterday, if you're unwilling to change what you're doing now to save money and search for real estate deals, you will need to change some of your habits. And then if you are unemployed and are happily unemployed and don't intend on ever getting employed again, then please do not join this program. I cannot help you. Either your work ethic is not there, your work ethic may not be there. And that's why you should not join this program. This program does require some work, okay? So I can't help anybody who's unemployed get finance. Now, if you're on disability and your disability is enough, okay, to afford real estate in your market, we can still work with you. But if you're unemployed and you like, I'm just going to milk this thing, and you're trying to get over on life, I cannot help you. Okay. So with that, I have some how much work per week? Good question, Audrey. It's about 30 minutes a day or 4 hours a week. 30 minutes a day or 4 hours a week. All right. So self-employed can join. Self-employed can join. I was self-employed when I purchased my property. Okay. So let me share with you quickly some bonuses. First bonus is you're all going to get credit etiquette course from Tanya Rapley. I licensed this program for her. For those of you who have credit issues, who believe that your credit score is too low, I licensed this course from her to help you boost your credit score by 50 to 150 points on your own. Okay, this will put you in striking distance in order to be able to get financed by the banks. You're also going to get the Fuel It module, which is exactly how I scaled my portfolio from 0 to 10 properties. Literally, I walk you through every single deal I did, how I found it, and why I bought it. Okay. And so that is the Fuel It module. So this shows you how to scale your portfolio to 1, 2, 3, 4, how I use properties 1, 2, and 3 to buy 4, 5, and 6, and 4, 5, and 6 to buy 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Then bonus number 3 is the REI Tax Secrets. I'm going to show you how to reduce your tax liability. Remember, I showed you how that one property is going to lead to 278, literally $250,000 in tax savings over the next 30 years. I'm going to show you how to set up your accounting to make sure that you maximize every tax law, leverage every tax law that is available to you as a multifamily real estate investor. It does not work for single family homes. Okay. And then the Overnight Success Airbnb course. I'm going to show you how to grow an Airbnb business. I've grown a 6-figure Airbnb business, and I'm going to show you exactly how to set that up if you live in an Airbnb-friendly city. Then you'll also get the Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer online. You will get the spreadsheet, but I've also spent 5 figures to turn it into an online app where you can evaluate all your deals in one single place. And what's powerful about the app is that it allows all my students to share deals with one another. So this is Camille saying, shout out to Daffy for sending me a sweet deal in our market this morning and helping me run the numbers on it. There's truly strength in numbers and community. Stay blessed, everyone. Okay. So this is the power of the mind, the crowd, the mastermind, is that we share deals that we find, off-market deals that we find together. This program also has a 2-year coach until you close support guarantee. So I will literally coach you for the next 2 years, y'all. 2 years. Okay. So I asked myself, what is the worst situation that somebody could come to me with in terms of trying to acquire multifamily real estate? And the worst situation is bankruptcy. Okay. And it takes bankruptcy about 2 years to come off, right, before we can actually go get financed. So I said, all right, then that's what my guarantee is going to be, that I will coach you for up to 2 years so that I can still help you close. Right. So what does that mean? That you will get 100 sessions, weekend sessions. You will have coaching for at least 100 weekend sessions. I only take off 2 weekends per year for holidays. So I will be there showing up, whether you show up or not. Or I hope you show up. I will be there showing up to help you, to be there for you, to hold you accountable, right? To make sure that you get to the finish line for 2 years. That's the coaching and support that you give this program. As a result, that is why there are no refunds for this program. There are no refunds for this program. There are no refunds for this program. If this program was just some videos and you never saw me again after this webinar, then there might be some refund. There might be a 30-day money back guarantee, those kind of things. No, I put my blood, sweat, tears, and time into this program to see you across the finish line. The only thing that I care about is you making it beyond the Mason-Dixon line. That's the only thing I care about. You know that Harriet Tubman never lost a passenger? Never lost a passenger. I know this program works. The only X factor, guess what, is you. I know that the system works. The only X factor is you. So this is how I've set up the program to make sure that you succeed. Yeah. So with that, you add everything together, all the bonuses together, and that would be $7,586 of value that I'm giving to you for $1,497 one pay, or $349 per month for just 6 months. All right. Linda says there's some foolishness in the chat. Foolishness in the chat. I don't know. It's all good. It's all good. Linda, let them be. Let them be. It's not for them. If there's foolishness in there, it's not for them. Okay. And if we compare balance sheets and cash flow of those who are being foolish and those who are not, we'll see the difference and we'll know why they're being foolish. So it's all good. Just keep moving forward. All right. So with that, look, y'all, you say you don't know where to start. I'm giving you the multifamily master plan, which is the A to Z blueprint on how to get started in multifamily real estate. You feel alone on the journey, you get to be a part of our community, our weekly deal room calls, and our very active Facebook group. I've showed you snapshots of the Facebook group and the support and the love that is in there several times in this presentation. You don't feel that good at math? You don't have to be. There is math in high school. I don't care what grade you got in math in high school, but then there's math for millionaires. And what I teach you is math for millionaires, okay? These are the equations that you have to know, right, in order to make your way towards becoming a millionaire. You need more help with money beyond real estate investing? That's all right. That's what the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend is for. On day one, I'm going to teach you all of my wealth building strategies beyond just real estate. You already bought a home? That's all right. That's what the Fuel It module is for. I'm going to show you how to reverse yourself out of that situation. There's 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation and how to build your portfolio from 1 to 0 to 10 or from 1 to 10. Wherever you're at, I'm going to show you how to scale your portfolio without compromising your debt to income ratio. Do I need an LLC to start? No, you do not need an LLC. I typically don't recommend an LLC until you have 10 apartments, okay? So, but you do need to set up your accounting in the right way, and that's what the REI Tax Secrets is for. You have to make sure that you are deducting the right things and as many of the right things as you can in order to maximize the tax benefits. The prices are too high where you live. That's what the Airbnb Success Overnight Success course is for. Because with Airbnb, sometimes you can get 3 times what you would get in rent, and that makes your market actually affordable for you when you're able to command 3 times rent. And then if you feel your credit score is off, then that's what the credit etiquette course is for, okay? To help you increase your credit score. So again, when you put all those things together, that's $7,586, and you get access to it for $14.97 or $349 per month for just 6 months tonight, okay? Now, one more thing for you all. I'm giving everybody here a free buddy pass, meaning that when you join, you get to bring a buddy into the program for free. You get to bring a buddy into the program for absolutely free. This could be your best friend, your spouse or your homie, blood, siblings, parents or kids, or a business partner, whoever you plan on investing with. Why would I do this? Because I know that you will be more successful when you have somebody who is on the ground with you in your city, who you know, who's like, let's do module 3 tonight together. Let's go look at these 5 properties this weekend together. I know that you will have a higher success rate. And that's all I'm committed to, is you having a high success rate, okay? This is Velveeta and Velvet. They are sisters. They are going through the program together as sisters. They're twin sisters, and they're searching in LA. And then this is Victor and Michelle Dorner, and they are coming together as they are aligning on their financial life together. So this is a beautiful thing to see families come together and build wealth together and understand the language together. And for those of you who join tonight, you will get an extra ticket worth $599 for that buddy if you're going to bring a buddy into the program. Even if they don't do the program with you, you get to bring somebody to New Orleans with you for the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend, which is on MLK weekend of the upcoming year. If it's not in person, it will still be online and it'll still be dope, but you'll get a free ticket for that event, okay? So with that, again, that's $7,586. You can join for $14.97 tonight. You are literally just one deal away. You're one deal away. Okay. This is my first deal in Brooklyn. I had no clue that it would end up where I am 7 years later. And I'm so grateful for this first property. It means everything to me. This is one property. We normally don't get entangled with property. That's one of our jokes in our group. We do not get entangled with properties, but this first property I'll be entangled with forever. And this is how wealth is built. This is the domino effect, y'all. You get that first property, and this is how it unfolds. It knocks down the next one, and then leads to the next one, and leads to the next one. And this is how I built my wealth over time through multifamily real estate, okay? So you'll get started, you'll get onboarded, you'll get your deal analyzer, you'll start the online course, you'll go through orientation, and we'll have our weekly deal call on Sunday, and then you'll start your first challenge on Monday. For those of you who are on the website and have left the webinar but can still hear me, your temporary password is the word freedom, all lowercase. Your temporary password is the word freedom, all lowercase, okay? So go ahead, go to thefreedomschool.com. Once you paid, log in with your email address that your receipt came to and use the temporary password freedom. Now, some people are asking, when does this offer end? You have until Friday at midnight to join this program. You have until Friday at midnight to join this program. Right now, after Friday at midnight, the price will jump to $3,997. It will jump to $3,997. You all told me it's worth $4,997. It will jump to $3,997 Friday at midnight. So you have 72 hours to go do what you got to do, right? You always talking good game with them Twitter fingers. Okay, you got 72 hours to go do what you got to do to make that happen. For all of you who are here, you will get access to the list of down payment assistance programs. I will send that out via email tomorrow. So keep an eye out on your email tomorrow, okay, for that list of down payment assistance programs. And with that, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are over 2 hours in. We are over 2 hours in, and you are still here. That says a lot about you, says a lot about who you are, how serious you are about this, how bad you want this, and how committed you are to creating generational wealth for your family. So I'm just sending you love and saying thank you for being here. And with that, I'm going to jump into Q&A, and I'll stay on for another 20 minutes till 9:30 my time and answer as many questions as I possibly can, because I want you to make informed decisions about real estate, and I also want you to make informed decisions about this program. All right? So with that, the way we're going to ask questions is you're going to use the Q&A function in Zoom, okay? I'm going to repeat this 3 times. Do not put your question in chat. Do not put your question in chat. Do not put your question in chat. Please use the Q&A function, and I'm going to answer them in order in the Q&A function in Zoom, all right? We already have 29 questions lined up. I'm going to push through them as quickly as I possibly can. I hope that some of them are duplicates so that when I answer one, I'm answering somebody else's. A lot of you are going to have the same questions. But again, thank you for being here, and let's get into this Q&A, all right? Boom. Somebody asked, how do you sign up your buddy? So when you join, what you'll do is you'll email support@thefreedomschool.com, and you'll get all that information. It's in orientation, brother. When you sign up, you'll get information on how to sign up your buddy, but you'll email support@thefreedomschool.com with your buddy's name and email address and their relationship to you, and they will get added to everything, okay? So it's pretty simple. Is this recorded? Yes, Chris, this is recorded. I will send out the replay tomorrow. You know, I talk fast, y'all, and you might not have caught everything that I was dropping. So I'll send out the replay tomorrow. For those of you who are going to bring a buddy into the program, make sure that you send it to them so that they can watch it too and know what they're getting into. But yes, I will send out a replay tomorrow. Okay. What about home equity loans? Do you recommend doing this to start multifamily real estate? Kathy, yes, we can definitely leverage a HELOC, excuse me, a HELOC in order to, if you have a single family, we can definitely leverage a HELOC to buy probably a multifamily home in a smaller, secondary, less expensive market. So I think that's a great strategy, Kathy, that we can employ. Okay. Nikita, in my area, a 6+ was listed for $899. Is it better to wait and see if it will decrease because the recession is upon us? Nikita, I do expect prices in real estate to drop as people come out of forbearance. 2 reasons why real estate is great right now. 1, people went into forbearance in the summer, and forbearance lasts 3 months. And so they're going to be coming out of forbearance between now and the end of the year, and then real estate prices are going to drop, okay? The other thing is what has happened to interest rates, y'all? What has happened to interest rates? What has happened to interest rates, y'all? Interest rates are at an all-time low, right? Interest rates are at an all-time low. So this is why real estate is now. So Nikita, I don't know the details of that deal. And 6plex is a commercial property. Here we're focused on 1 family, 2 family, 3 family, and 4 family homes. Commercial property is a different type of loan. It's only 20-year amortization, and it has a higher interest rate. So, and I don't know enough details. There's 23 numbers that I need to know to evaluate that deal. And right now, all I have is the price from you. So I can't tell you if that's a good deal or not. But when you join, you'll get the purchase of past deal analyzer, and you'll know exactly how to evaluate any real estate deal. Okay. Jasmine, thanks for this. I live in Wisconsin. I have really good rental laws for landlords. I don't intend to stay in Wisconsin. I want to buy a multifamily, but will not manage it. Would you recommend this, or would you recommend buying closer to where you are? Jasmine, in order to buy from a distance, remember, I bought in New Orleans from Brooklyn, and I bought in Oakland from Brooklyn. The key is having a great agent on the ground, and if that agent is also a property manager, then that's how you can easily have a property from a distance, okay? Again, my money can work wherever it decides to work. I don't care what city it works in or how far it is away from me, okay? Now, a property manager typically takes 8 to 10% of rents, Jasmine. Okay, 8 to 10% of rent. So we need to evaluate that and factor that in when we're evaluating the deal to see if the property still cash flows with the property manager. Okay. Galaxy Note 9. I currently have a single family home that I'm renting for $1,300 a month, but I rent an apartment to live in for $735 a month. How should I move forward with a duplex? Galaxy Note 9. This is where I would coach you on our weekly deal room calls. There's a lot that I need to know. I need to know what city you're in, how much equity is in that single family home, what is it worth now, what are the interest rates, what is your long-term goal, what is your short-term goal, what kind of money do you make, what's your credit score. There's a lot of factors that I would, what's your family look like, do you have kids, are you married? There's a lot of factors that I would need to know in order to help you evaluate the best course of action. And that's what our weekly deal room call coaching is for. What about the maintenance and the upkeep of the property and the cost? Jules, great question. So when you heard me say CapEx and repair reserve, okay, over and over tonight, that is where we get our repair money from. Every month out of rent, so let's say rents are $4,000, we take out about 15% of that, which would be $600, right? We take about $600 and set it aside for future repairs or maintenance. Okay, that's called CapEx, capital expenses, and repair reserves. So Jules, we take that out of rent every single month and we factor that into our numbers. Okay. How can we get the same model? Anonymous, the Purchase of Past Deal Analyzer is not free. It is only available to my students. Okay, so you get it when you join the program. I don't give that away for free. That thing is priceless. Okay. We are at 87 questions now. So I'm pushing through, y'all. Nikki, when I purchase this offer and pay in full, how long will I have access to the course material? So Nikki, it is lifetime access. Okay, as long as the internet is working, wherever you are, you have access to the program. How long will I have direct, indirect access to you? Inquiry if a deal is good move or not a great deal. Nikki, you get 2 years of coaching. Okay, and that's through our weekly deal room calls, or you can post your question in the Facebook group, and I'm in there twice a day. Okay, so that is how I support you. FYI, I'm a teacher, not currently working, but I receive monthly pension from a previous job. Okay, Nikki, so we will look and see if that pension is enough to still afford in your specific market. Okay. Tanya, please place your question in Q&A. Paris, I'm in the middle of refinancing of my single family home and it has been 90 days already. I'm ready to get moving on multifamily. Can I start on my multifamily if I'm waiting to refi for my primary single family? So Paris, one, that seems very long for a refinance. It usually doesn't take that long, but you may be in luck because I don't know if you're going to be able to get cash out. If you're going to be able to get cash out, then we can go use that cash to go buy a multifamily, even if we have to put 20 to 25% down in a smaller secondary market. But Paris, if you have a lot of equity and you're not attached to your home, you might be happy that that refi didn't happen because it might be better to just sell the property and start afresh. So again, there's 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation and 5 ways to use FHA twice. So Paris, I would like to explore that with you if you join the program. What if you have an active bankruptcy? Does that take you out of the game? Maria, I don't know what your timeline is, when that bankruptcy started, et cetera. But usually it takes about 2 years before we can get you started again. So it doesn't take you out of the game forever. It just there will be a little bit of a hold, okay, for you to get financed. Kiera, I'm in the process of finalizing my mortgage loan, FHA duplex. Good, Kiera. But there's only 2 bedrooms, second floor, and 3 bedrooms on the first floor, which me and the kids will take. I'm gonna rent the second floor for $1,250. My mortgage will be $1,800, which will leave me with $550 for my monthly expenses. Shaking my head, no. But my question is, how can I get my second loan to buy another duplex or triplex? Or I have a bankruptcy September 2017, but I want another property soon. Kiera, good question. It sounds like you are about to buy Normally, we don't go for duplexes because they don't get you to rent and mortgage freedom. Like you said, you're still coming out of pocket. Um, Depending on, it's going to take some time for you to build up equity to put you in position for this next property. I have no clue how much you earn financially. So there's all kinds of factors that's going to determine how quickly we can get you the next property. But I do want you to get settled into this property, even though it's not cash flowing. And I wouldn't have particularly done this particular purchase as your first purchase. I want you to get settled in, get a feel for what it's like to be a landlord, get a feel for understanding this game. And then who knows? It may appreciate by $15,000 in the next 6 months or 12 months. You may decide to sell it, take that, start afresh, and then go get a fourplex or something like that. So it's all good. You're already in motion. I wish I could have found you and caught you sooner to prevent you from still coming out of pocket. But you're doing better than paying rent, right? You're paying $550, which is better than what you probably were paying in rent, or less than what you were paying in rent. So you're still moving forward, but I probably would have made a different move coming out the gates. But I'm still happy for you, and if we can accelerate your process, then let's do that. Anonymous, how long do we have access to the class materials? I said you have lifetime access to the content once you've made your final payment. So those who do the one pay, lifetime access, period. Those who do the monthly subscription, once you make your sixth payment, you have lifetime access. Do you have a relationship with contractors in various markets? S, no. I have a strong real estate Rolodex here in New Orleans and a decent one in Brooklyn. It's almost impossible for one person to know many different markets and also have relationships in those markets. But S, in the program, I teach you how to build your real estate Rolodex. Okay, that's one of the modules. That's week 7. I teach you how to build your real estate Rolodex in the market that you're in. All right. Do I have to pay tonight? Alicia, no, you have until Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Again, the URL is multifamilymovement.com, multifamilymovement.com. For those of you who like PayPal better, if you go to multifamilymovement.com, you can see these burgundy links below the green button, okay? You can click there for the $14.97 or click here for the $349 per month. When you go to PayPal, you can use debit or credit card with PayPal. You just come here and you click this gray button that says pay with debit or credit card. You do not need a PayPal account. So if you have money in a PayPal account, you can use PayPal, okay? Paris, do you have scholarships? I'm ready to get others to join the movement I'm part of. Can I be considered for a scholarship? Paris, I do not have any scholarships for this program. I give freely through my Instagram and my YouTube. So if you can't afford this right now, then you likely can't afford real estate right now. So go ahead and keep watching my free stuff and get as far as you can and start stacking your bread. Okay. Sai, how much capital should I have already to get started? Multifamilies are $600, 600K or so. 20% is 120. Should I have capital ahead? So Sai, remember, FHA is 3.5% down, and NACA is 0% down. So if you feel like you're short in terms of your cash savings, then I want you to go through NACA, try NACA first. And if you do have some capital saved, then I want you to go through FHA. All right. Ani has 4 questions. Okay, Ani, I'm going to try to get through all of them. Ani, how about Lanisa said I joined. How do I get access? Lanisa, you're going to get an email, but you can go to thefreedomschool.com, use the email address, and use the password freedom. Go to thefreedomschool.com, use the email address you joined with, and then use the password freedom, all lowercase. Welcome, Lanice. Miss Fuller. Okay, Ani, how about people that rent out their single family basement or live in the basement and rent out the top? Ani, that is a duplex. That is considered a duplex in my eyes. Usually, again, a duplex will not get you to rent and mortgage freedom, but that is better than nothing, okay? Can you explain the slide again where you said we were 3 months away from living rent and mortgage free? Slide 59, I think. Ani, 3 months means that if you join this program, okay, and over the next 3 months, I teach you how to acquire a multifamily property, then by the end of the year, you could be rent and mortgage free. That's it, okay? Within the next 3 months, you could be rent and mortgage free once you learn how to evaluate deals and then you go find one. So you could literally be 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom. Ani's third question, I've been approved for 250K in the DMV conventional. Multifamily properties over here are pretty much more outside that range. I think of buying out of state. I'm concerned about property management, especially since it's my first property. If I hire a property manager, doesn't that eat into my profits? How do you overcome this challenge? Yes, Ani. When in my properties in Oakland and in my property in Brooklyn, property management is taken into account. We run the numbers with the property manager accounted for. Okay. Again, property managers are usually anywhere from 7 to 10% of rent. So if the deal doesn't work with the property manager, then it's not a deal. Okay. If I go through FHA, is there a way around living on the property in the first year? No, there is not. There is not. Okay. You sign a document that is a legally binding document saying that you will occupy it for at least a year. So I do not recommend that you violate that. Should we form an LLC to buy a property through LLC? No. You typically don't. Don't encourage people to start an LLC for real estate until they are at least 10 apartment units into the game. Okay. You cannot get financed through FHA, NACA, or VA with an LLC. All right. So, no, the answer is no. I can go form an LLC in 15 minutes. Would you all finance me $500,000 with the LLC that I just formed 15 minutes ago? Let me know in chat. If you would finance me $500,000 with an LLC that I just formed 15 minutes ago, let me know. Yes or no? LLC would need cash flow. It would need credit history. It would need a DUNS number, right? It would have to be real estate related, right? You're not just going to fund an entity that was created 15 minutes ago, right? So I don't know who told y'all can just form LLCs and go get finance. That's not how it works, y'all. That is not how it works. All right. What is the credit score needed? FHA right now is 660, but NACA is a lot more lenient. Okay. So depending on where your credit is, you might have to go with NACA. Janine, if I'm unemployed but own my home outright, can I use my house for collateral using NACA? Janine, no. They are going to require income. They're going to require income because if your tenants for whatever reason have difficulty paying, then it's going to have to come out of your pocket, right? And if you don't have income, then that puts you in jeopardy. So no, it is almost impossible to get financed with no income, y'all. It is almost impossible to get financed with no income, okay? Are you an affiliate with NACA? NACA does not have affiliates. I just recommend their program because I know and I've helped many people close through NACA, okay? There is a single family home in my area for $20,000. Should I buy it? Lisa, that's not enough information for me to determine, so I'm not going to give a recommendation. You'll learn how to run numbers and evaluate deals in the purchase or pass deal analyzer and see if that is actually a good investment. All right. Kishan, will this offer happen again in the future? Kishan, I open enrollment periodically. Right now, we are taking on more as I've just hired somebody. I'm in the process of hiring somebody, so we're ready to take on more students, but enrollment is periodic. So it's open for right now. I don't know when it'll be open again. Charles, so when you say that you're going to be helping us, do you mean that you'll be traveling to our city with us to help us to get our deals done or finding good property? No, Charles. No, I support you through our weekly deal room calls on Sunday. If I communicated that in any way, forgive me, right? There's no one-on-one in this program, okay? I will coach you one-on-one in our weekly deal room while the entire community is listening. I have too many people to share and impact with. Imagine if Harriet Tubman tried to make one-on-one trips across the Mason-Dixon line. She wouldn't have freed as many people. So I have too many people to support with this. So no, there's no one-on-one, and I don't travel to your city and your market. I teach you how to think like me for your market, Charles. Okay, is that clear, everybody? I just want to make sure that's clear, that I didn't mislead anybody in any way. I teach you how to think like me so that you can execute in your market. Please type clear if that is clear to everyone. There's no one-on-one in this program. Okay, you can't get coached in the group context. I will be talking to you while everyone's listening, but there's no one-on-one in this program. Okay. All right. Thank you. And Charles, please let me know that you heard me. Chris, is there a downside to paying all cash for a home rather than putting in a mortgage? Chris, there's a huge downside to paying all cash. There are some upsides of paying cash. The only time I pay cash is if I'm getting a huge discount because I'm paying cash. So let's say a home was $300,000, and because I paid in cash and the seller was eager for a cash offer because they didn't want to deal with potentially the buyer not getting financed, and I was able to get it for 260, and I'm stepping into $40,000 equity, then I might pay cash, right? But beyond that, no, I would never pay cash for property. There's actually just rare instances. There's a couple of different strategies that I would use to pay cash, but I'm usually going to refinance out of it once I've acquired the property. Where online do you go to sign up? Again, that's multifamily movement, William. That's multifamilymovement.com. Multifamilymovement.com. I'm gonna take 5 more questions. We're at 9:30 now, y'all. Will both people in the buddy program get the same benefits? David, both get the same benefits. The only thing the buddy does not get is the ticket to the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend unless you join tonight. Okay. There will be a discounted ticket for buddies, but that's the only thing that the buddy doesn't get. Okay. Unless you join tonight. That is a free kind of fast action bonus for those who join tonight. The buddy will get a ticket. What are the 20 things you said you have to consider before buying? Kofi, all those 23 numbers are in the program. I teach you one by one by one. That's an entire module on what those numbers are, why they're important, and where to find them. That's an entire module, okay? I could not just answer that in a minute here, okay? Are you willing to split the 349, Bree? We don't do any additional payment plans. Those are the payment plans that we have right now. So we don't do any more splits. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Krista, can you get an FHA loan with 3.5% down on a 4-family property? The lender that I spoke to said no. Yes, you can, Krista. The lender you spoke to is wrong. And lenders have their own guidelines, Krista. So there's FHA guidelines, and then lenders can add their own guidelines on top of FHA. Okay. So Krista, we don't just talk to one lender. We shop for lenders, meaning that we speak to many different lenders. It is not true that you cannot get an FHA loan on a 4-family home. That lender's guidelines may say that, meaning that they're saying we're only lending to FHA on 2-family homes, right? But there are other lenders, okay, that do lend on 4-family homes. 2 more questions. Where are you in your goal of 300? And this is a blessing. Galaxy Note, I am about at 42, about 42 people have closed, okay? But I have a lot of people who are in the pipeline. It's a lot in contract, etc. Well, remember, this takes time. A lot of people say, Julian, what's your success rate for the program? And I'm going to give you my honest answer. This program is not structured like college where people start at the same time, at the same level, and then they end at the same time. People come to me in different ways. Some people come to me bankrupt. Some people come to me unemployed. Some people come to me with everything ready to go. And then even with that, some people have a different amount of space in their life to execute. So some people may be on the 12-week plan. Some people put themselves on the 6-week plan. Some people say, Julian, I know I'm busy right now. I'm going to be on this for 48 weeks. You know what I'm saying? That's my goal, is next year. So because everybody has a different timeline and everybody's coming to me at different things, I can't really evaluate necessarily a success rate because it's not like a specific start and end. And people are in different markets. Some markets are more tougher than others. But I have helped about 42 people close, and I'm so proud of that. And remember, everybody has 2 years of coaching with me. So I'm gonna over the 2 years. After 2 years, I will be able to say I've helped this many people close within 2 years of joining me. But at this point, we're not at the 2-year mark, so I can't. I don't have a specific number for that. Okay, is that clear? Please type clear, and I'll answer one more question after that. Okay, again, the X factor is you. I know that the program works. The X factor to success is actually you. But great question, Galaxy. Afia, Afia, how will you assist everyone who signs up? How will you able to provide one-on-one assistance to each and every one? Afia, I hope you heard me earlier. I don't do one-on-one, okay? I do group coaching. And so people can come in the hot seat and sign up, and I will coach you, Afia, on whatever challenge while everyone else is listening in. You'll be surprised that when everybody else is listening in, they're also being coached because they're seeing how I work through it. They're looking at the numbers that I'm asking for. They're looking at the questions that I ask you, etc. So everybody's being coached, even though I'm giving energy and attention to one person. We have not had a problem with it to date, but this is how the program works. Okay. And then the basic structure and backbone is actually the modules that you go through. All right. And then I'm also in the Facebook group twice a day, coaching and answering questions. And then Rod's last question. Speak about second homes of investments. Is that a good strategy? Speak about second homes as investment. Rod, I don't fully understand the question. Is that a good strategy? Rod, I don't fully understand the question, brother. Yeah, I don't fully understand the question. I'm sorry, brother. Can I purchase on my own using this program, even if I own a home with my husband, although my name is not on the deed or finances? Kelly, that is absolutely awesome. I'm glad you structured it in that way. We can position you to get a FHA loan or an FHA loan, given the way you and your husband have structured that particular property. So you are green light to go. I'll share with you specific narratives and ways to approach lenders so that you can get financed still. Okay. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Look, y'all, there's like 140 questions right now. I pushed through as many as I possibly could. I hope a lot of the ones below are duplicates. I see you, Camila, Maxine, Dwayne, Jonah, Stephanie, Jatan, Alex, Juan, Marva. I see all your questions, y'all. If I stayed here, we'd be here until midnight answering them. So I hope you got enough information to make an informed decision. You'll never fully have perfect information, even on a real estate deal. But I hope that you got enough to make an informed decision about the program. Again, you have till Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Like I said before, many of you are literally less than 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom. Some of you will achieve rent and mortgage freedom before the end of the year. If you go through this blueprint, the multifamily master plan, follow my steps and execute, you'll be surprised how quickly your financial life turns around. So again, I will make the replay available. I'll send it out tomorrow, so keep an eye out on your email. And I'll also send you a list of the down payment assistance programs. With that, I want to say I'm so grateful for each and every one of you being here 2.5 hours in on a Tuesday night, working on financial freedom. I'm grateful for you, and whatever you decide, I wish you the best on your journey. All right. Wishing you all health and wealth. Much love. Talk to you soon. Peace.